What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Round One. So, fight fans, we got a big card to break down. We have Puerto Rico's own young Xander Zayas, and he is doing some remarkable things right now for the young age of 23 years old. I have to admit, the young man has 23 also professional fights, 13 big ways by knockout, and his opponent, is a big obstacle, and only like I think right now this is Xander Zayas' biggest challenge, and I think Jerron Boots Ennis with 35 fights and 30 big ways by knockout is a viable opponent, a worthy opponent, and an opponent that most spectators think is going to win this fight. We're gonna break down this fight. Somebody's O has got to go. Jerron Boots Ennis versus young Xander Zayas in New York City. We're gonna look over this fight, the ins and outs, and I want to know your opinions about who you think's gonna win this fight and why. Why do you think the person that you believe that's gonna win this fight? So, fight fans, let's tune in, let's lock in, let's get this episode started. We got a lot to talk about. Thank you for tuning in here around One Sports TV. Listen, we have a big fight to discuss. Jerron Boots Ennis and young Xander Zayas. And man, is this a banger. Somebody's O has got to go. Let me tell you right now. And the more I think about this fight, the more I break it down, the more I go back and forth. At one time, I thought that young Xander was a little bit too, I would say, dare use the word, green still, right? He's just a young fighter, but make no mistake, young Xander Zayas has been battle tested. He fought great fighters like Abbas Baru, right? He fought Chino Perez before he fought Abbas Baru, right? Then he also fought Spooner and Sosa, and those are just some of the fights that young Xander has already been tested in. I think Abbas Baru was one of his greatest techs on the low on the low. I think Abbas Baru is a professional drowner. He's the type of fighter that can take you into deep waters and truly drown you. He is a professional drowner. And young Xander Zayas, he didn't know on that night he had a life vest on. He wasn't going to drown, and he was a professional swimmer. Okay. Young Xander Zayas proved to the world that he can handle adversity. When Abbas Baru was testing the durability of Xander in that fight, Xander dug deep. Xander did all the right things, in which I speak to his boxing ability, his actual ring etiquette, what Xander does in the ring correctly. He does a lot of the basic things correct. And that is the one thing you want installed into a young boxer. That if you're ever in trouble, without even thinking of it, your body is going to respond. That's called training. Xander is a good student when it comes to boxing, and I have been saying this for a very, very long time that I think his boxing ability is highly underrated. When you look at Jerron Boots Ennis, and I'm trying to see what the rest of the boxing world is all high strung about, right? And the rest of the boxing world is really looking at Jerron Boots Ennis's athletic ability. He's really athletic. He has good spurts, good movement, great speed. But the when and the where is where I'm concerned with a fighter like Jerron Boots Ennis. And when we're talking about boxing, it's much more than just getting in there and slugging it out with your opponent, now, isn't it? Now, I think that in this match right here, I have studied Jerron Boots Ennis, and I have seen some of his flaws, but some of his strong points. And Jerron Boots Ennis, if he smells blood, he can attack you viciously. Jerron Boots Ennis has an onslaught attack, but when we can see when he had fighters like Karen that fought against him, you saw that he wasn't able to open up that can. Karen contained him with a stiff jab and a lot of feints. He got Jerron Boots Ennis to bite a lot. When he would get Jerron Boots Ennis to bite to his feints, he would stay still. Karen would have his moments. Jerron in the second fight figured him out a lot better. He put a lot better ass whooping on Karen, but he still couldn't finish him. And all of Jerron Boots Ennis' greatest task and greatest challenges of boxers, he didn't seem to really perform above expectations. Throughout all his 12-round fights, Jerron Boots Ennis has only been the distance twice. And he went 10 rounds in another fight. Now, this spell, not a lot of championship experience. Well, Xander doesn't have a lot of championship experience as well. But boxing technical ability, that's what we're here to discuss. The why. Why do you think Jerron Boots Ennis can beat Xander or vice versa? And I think that this fight is going to play out much different than a lot of us think. Leading into the fight quietly, because of my Puerto Rican pride, of course, I had to admit that I thought that Xander Zayas bit off more than he can chew. I thought that Xander was like forced to take this fight. Upon investigation, watching Xander and Boots Ennis up on their little on the platform discussing and advertising for the fight, the world learned that wasn't so. That in fact, Xander Zayas took the fight voluntarily. He wasn't ordered, he wasn't pushed, he wasn't coerced. He said, you know what? I want that smoke. I want that challenge, and I want to fight Jerron Boots Ennis. You know what Xander is telling the world by doing so? Xander's saying, this town ain't big enough for the two of us. If they're saying that you're the best 154 pounder and I have two belts, well, then I got to shut that down. That's what Xander is saying. This town is not big enough for the two of us. One of us got to go. And when I found out that Xander took the fight voluntary, it gave me a better sense of confidence. The young man is not being pushed. He's walking towards the smoke. You understand? And that's a different type of mentality. A fighter that is undefeated, Jerron Boots Ennis, has that same mindset. You think that Jerron Boots Ennis cares that Xander has two belts? No. The only thing Jerron Boots cares is about proving to the world that he is the best. Philly's the one and only Jerron Boots Ennis. Jerron Boots Ennis has been searching for that Philly recognition as their fighter for a very long time. He's been even talked up to the lights of the great Terrence Crawford. But he has to prove it. He has to prove it. And on this night, yes, Xander wants to achieve his dreams, but Jerron Boots Ennis got his own dreams. He got his own ambition, his own goals. And Jerron Boots Ennis is trying to go to New York and whoop on Xander Zayas and walk out of New York with those two belts. It's up to Xander to stop that. And Jerron Boots Ennis, he ain't going to give us no sympathy. He ain't going to show us no love and no mercy on fight night. You could better believe that. So Xander, you better be prepared. You better come correct. Out of all the tournament fights he's ever been, I've heard him talk about his boxing experience. This is the fight to win right here. Everything's on the line. And as a boxing fan, it even has me torn between the two. It has me torn between Philly. My family has a boxing gym in Philly. I have family in Philly. And it also has me torn between my Puerto Rican flag and what I want to see for my fighters. I want to see history. Standing in the way of history is Jaron Boots Ennis. That's the problem. I don't dislike Jaron Boots Ennis. Had he been fighting anybody else for any other thing or any other circumstances, I probably got him in the fight. I like Jaron Boots Ennis a lot, but I love my flag even more. And if you ask me, Xander has the opportunity to bring us the first Puerto Rican champion to get 3 belts. He's on the road. But all of a sudden, this car hijacker hopped out the woods and wants to jack the car. We ain't going for that. Xander, step on the gas, run his ass over. If you asking me to pick, I want to pick legacy for my people. I hope you feel the same way about yours. And this is not about bias. This is not about anything. This is just about your country's legacy. If you were from Japan, Russia, UK, you would want to see your countrymen bring back the gold. And although a lot of us know Puerto Rico, United States, same thing, cool. I'm cool with that. But I'm also cool with representing ours. And it gives me great pride to see the men and women raise that flag like it should for you.
Hey, do y'all see what a little influence do?
What happened?
Just a little bit. Just my bias rubs off, you know.
Why? What happened?
Huh? Because you repping the flag now all of a sudden.
No, 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 no. I've been public with this. I've asked my fans and my viewers not to follow me down this rabbit hole. Don't. If you're gonna put money on it, bet with some sense. Don't bet with pride and don't bet with your heart. I wouldn't suggest it. This is just a rare moment in boxing that my country got to a place where I've never seen. I've never witnessed it with Felix Trinidad, Miguel Cotto, Hector Camacho. Never witnessed it. I never seen a Puerto Rican fighter wrap 3 belts around their waist in boxing history. No man has ever done that. We're that close. We have 3 fighters that currently have 2 belts. But as we all know, they're down in the lower weight division. Yes, if they get the belts, they can't take that away from us. No. But I would like it to be in the big boy division. If Puerto Rico can get 3 belts at 154, that's saying a lot. It's also saying a lot from the stigma that Puerto Rican men are short by stature, that we're considered little. You understand? And we getting 3 belts in big boy weight divisions. Now we talking. We have a world champion in all 17 world divisions in the history. Yes, we've done that. But we've never been undisputed, ever, in the history of boxing. We have 68, I think 69 world champions throughout our history, but never had 3 belts. Never at a weight division like 154. Xander's our shot. That's why I'm rocking with my shot. That's why I'm going with Xander. Because of pride, heritage, you know what I'm saying? Legacy, status. We want to be recognized as some of the best fighters in the world as well. What do you think? We're playing this game just to play? Doesn't Mexico want to be recognized as the greatest Latin boxing country? Of course they do. We want to be there too. We're knocking on the door like, yo, we here, push over. Mexico then had undisputed champions of the world. They had Saul Canelo Alvarez. They're about to get Bam Rodriguez quiet as kept. Well, he's moving up in weight now. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but eventually I think it will. They've had a lot of legacy. I want a taste, a small taste, a taste of the glory. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's asking for much. And forgive me for picking against Jaron Boots Ennis, the American, which I'm an American guy. and from Philly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from Philly, but I have Philly family there. But it's just, you know what I mean? They made this fight and what's on the line. Most fight fans don't watch boxing for this. They wouldn't know nothing about this. They're just like, hey, I'm gonna pick my guy. Fuck flag stuff or whatever. Okay, I get it. I get it for you. But there's certain things I want to see before I die.
Go ahead,
Before
dude. Let
I
me catch up
die.
with the chat real quick. Let me
So
shout
yeah,
everybody
do
out.
that for my brother. Thank you for everybody tuning in, locking in. Let me hear what you guys got to say. Before he reads the chat, I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna give everybody 3 minutes and I'm gonna put it on the clock. 3 minutes. If you want to come up here and give your opinion on ins and outs, on who you think gonna win and why, I'll let the world hear you for 3 minutes. And then anybody else that wants to come up, all right? So read the chat, then I'll drop the link. Go ahead.
Puerto Rican Rum. Shout out to him. He says salute Edwin. Who else is in here? Totally not noob. Salute to him. The letter M87 says, I got Zayas, fam. I feel like Boots never been tested this way. The pressure he never felt, it will be different from Zayas. Hit the like, Shaw. Homie has great taste, says the letter M. Sacco Bob, salute. He says, frontline, am I still blocked? He was never blocked. We don't block nobody in here.
Somebody got, I
Um,
don't know why. Or maybe sometime YouTube does that for my did you type in anything remotely something? Cause they've been nuts to knock off somebody, one or two. And I think they
no,
do that just to be like cops or something, YouTube. Yeah, because they be
I have no
blocking
clue.
some weird people too. Yeah.
Yo, Santos Boxing. Shout out to Santos Boxing. That's All Facts co-host. He says, "How does Xander win?" Question. We about to get on that topic in a
We about to
minute.
get on that topic right now. Yeah, we about to
Ta-
attack that.
Ta-
Go ahead.
Tauman, what's up, Brown One? Brother Edwin, what's up, chat? Salute, salute. Bang Swift, Puerto Rican flag. Salute, my guy. Letter M, Puerto Rico for the win. Puerto Rican rum. I thought Boots looked like shit against Karen. Facts. I'm precisely. I like Xander, but I feel like he has a little outgunned. He's a little outgunned in this fight, man.
Hmm. Dangerous,
We gonna
dangerous.
talk about it.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Let's go. Read them chats.
Lucky says Xander is ready. Matias is coming back. Facts. There's a little rumor.
Oh, you gonna break it right now?
I'm not.
Really?
I'm not.
You
I'm
gonna
not gonna.
break it?
I'm
Okay,
not
just
gonna
just break it.
break
Just break
it.
it. Just get it out
It
there before
it's
the
a
Puerto Rican people.
rumor.
Just put
It's
it
a
out there,
rumor.
bro. We
So
read the same article.
the rumor is he's coming back, and it's still undecisive whether he's going to stay at 40 or 47. It's hinting towards 47 because he wants to fight Devin Haney, T.O. Hitchin, so on and so forth. Now,
But where is he going? Who's he signing to?
I no, I mean, obviously he's with Juan Yoang Orengo, Fresh Promotions, but, but,
What's
but
the rumor? Get it out. Get
the
it out. I
rumor
know it
is
hurts. I know it
it's
hurts.
the rumor is it's hinting towards Sufa.
You heard it. You heard it.
That's the
Subriel
rumor.
might be going to Sufa.
We
Yeah,
will know
because
more within the next couple days.
yeah, and this is coming from some pretty good guys that we know, and I think be prepared for that. Um, and
And to be
and,
honest,
and to be honest, I think it's a good move
for him, yeah,
because he
get the
already
bag.
proved. Yeah, get the bag, homeboy, because he's already proven he's already a two division. I mean, two-time champion in that division. He got the belt twice in the same division. Now, his age, you got to put in his, what is he, 38?
34.
34, I'm sorry, 34. Damn, I gave him 4 years. Shit, I'm thinking about Terrence
Loma.
Crawford. I'm sorry.
No, you're thinking about Loma coming back at
Oh,
38.
38. That's who I'm thinking about. Loma.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, brother. You are right. So but for Subir 34, I think
Dude,
he did what
he
he needed to do.
exactly
Plus, listen, Richard Hitchens, the Covalde, is over there in Sufa.
talking hella shit.
If
There's no
Subir comes
excuses
over to
now.
Sufa, he can't run.
No hay excusa.
He's gonna have to get in the ring with Subriel. I want to see all that fucking talking that Africa did about fucking Subriel Matias and all
Devin
that
Haney
shit.
too.
And yo, but if we can get
And
that fight,
T.O.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because that'll trap them in Sufa. They can't run. So let the boogeyman
Well,
go over there to Sufa.
supposedly.
Fuck it, let him. Supposedly, that's a supposed rumor. Finish the chats, brother.
Right, that's it. Everybody I caught
Oh,
up.
you caught up? Okay.
Yeah.
So, look, guys, the way I think that Xander is going to win this fight,
Wait, wait,
my
wait, 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 wait. Before you give your take, let's give a couple fun facts here
okay,
to lay the landscape out.
all right,
At least on how I look at the fight. I see Xander winning. I see Xander taking Boots into deep waters and drowning them. Right?
right, right,
Now, check this shit out. When I first heard about the fight, I saw it 60-40 for Boots, right?
okay,
I was going for Xander this whole time. I just thought that Boots had the upper hand. The more that I looked into the fight and I studied and I watched film and all this shit, I started seeing it 50-50, right?
mm-hmm,
But as of yesterday, late yesterday, early this morning, I caught on to something. Who I think this fight is gonna end up being whoever it's gonna be up to the corner, meaning their coach. It's gonna be up to what game plan they implement for each fighter. Which fighter executes that game plan?
okay. Wait. Let me pause you right there. Let me sort all this out for all the viewers. What you're saying actually is what you believe is going to win this fight is good coaching and a good student, a good
Correct.
boxing student that can carry out the assignment, not have mental lapse in the ring and carry out the excitement. Now, I want to talk to you about that's a part of this mental warfare. Now, if we're talking about a good coach and a good student, I don't think there's no better combination, or there is a couple, but there Xander and his coach has a very good student and coach relationship. I have seen in several fights where his coach told Xander, tighten up here, do this. He went out there and corrected it. He did exactly that. Now, you're going to get punched in the fight, yes, but I've also seen you're talking about good coaching and a good student. I want to bring something to the light here. How many times can you remember that Jerron Boots Ennis and his dad argued in the corner?
Yep.
I've seen multiple times where his dad was yelling him instructions and he was telling him, yeah, dad, I got this. I'll do this. I'll do that. His dad was in the corner with him and they were going back and forth. Now, that's an interesting point that you bring. You see a little disruption, a little chaos in Jerron Boots Ennis. Now let's talk about Jerron Boots Ennis's dad as a coach. Okay. Can Jerron Boots Ennis's dad write a game plan to beat an individual fighter? And what proof do we have on that? Well, let's take a look at some of his fighters and some of his fights. Didn't he train Andy Cruz, if I'm not mistaken?
He did for the Morataya fight. And I think Andy
Oh,
Cruz is still with him too.
okay. All right. So, what game plan did he come besides changing Andy Cruz into Jerron Boots Ennis to look like him? What game plan did he devise to beat Morataya rather than Robert Garcia's game plan to beat Andy Cruz?
Correct. Now
I'm
let's
just
flip it to
breaking
the
this
other side.
down
No, let's
as you're
flip it to the other
talking.
side.
Okay, go ahead.
Who did Javier Centeno? Who did he bring to the ring
Oh, shit.
and took a belt away from a champion? George Cambosos versus Tio.
You know what? Okay. George Camboza versus Tio, he had a good game plan to beat Tio, but you want to know
And
something?
and
When
since
he
he's been gone, what
gone
has
from him,
Cambosos
he
done?
hasn't won.
Exactly.
He hasn't won. So that coach, Santana, I mean, he devised a game plan to beat Tio. That's a good point.
And he
He ain't
doesn't
won
come up.
since, ever since he went back.
To
right?
his dad. To his
And his head
dad.
got blown up.
Yeah.
Good coaching made him a better fighter, a
It's
better
not the
game
coaching,
plan,
it's a good bank. Exactly. The game plan.
and the student to carry it out. Gotta
Correct.
have a good student. And I don't know a better fighter that absorbs more about boxing than Xander. Xander is a real technical boxer, very efficient, very strong puncher. He likes to go forward, and if you hit him, he doesn't shy away. Okay, he went into a few good gun battles, good exchanges. He fights when he needs to. He boxes when he needs to. He clinches when he needs to. He uses his feet when he needs to. He utilized boxing in all its forms. I think that Xander is a young student in boxing, but a very good student. Very, very good student. Now, does that spell victory? No, it doesn't.
Absolutely not.
Doesn't spell victory, but it gives me a better perspective of where the heart and soul of Xander is truly at. He is a fighter. He's a boxer. He's growing with the sport and he wants to evolve. I like Xander for a lot of different reasons, but I respect him more today as I really dissect his fighting ability. A lot of the things that Xander does well are the small things. I keep saying it. Jerron Boots Ennis likes to flow in the fight. He fights off of a rhythm. He likes to have that bounce. And when he's flowing and the guy shows up in front of him, he unloads and he looks spectacular. Jerron Boots Ennis is very athletic, very fast, and he can put his punches together in combinations. He knows how to set up punches and he knows how to cut angles. Where he lacks in, he doesn't know how to cut the ring very well. If he did, he would have cornered Carrington in. He just couldn't catch him. When you disrupt Jerron Boots and his rhythm, he has to reset. He starts after a while. If you can get him frustrated like Karen did, Karen was freezing him up with level changes and feints. He was making Jerron Boots Ennis go like that after a while because Jerron Boots Ennis had decided that he wasn't going to run. He was going to take the punches and fight Karen. But Karen was using his legs in the first fight really good. Karen was moving to right to left. And he kept Jerron Boots Ennis, he kept his whole boxing strategy, he kept disrupting it. And Jerron Boots Ennis didn't have a guy, he never fought a guy that moved that much. A lot of the guys that he fought in sparring in the gym and a lot of the stories you heard about Jerron Boots Ennis, you got to remember he's not beating on these guys that are like, world champions in their prime. He's either beating up on a former world champion or up and coming guy. And Jerron Boots Ennis punches hard. When he's hitting these guys in the gym, you should hear some of these stories. Jerron Boots Ennis really shines in sparring. He shows these guys no mercy. He be beating up all the. I hear all the stories, bro. He's a beast in sparring, Jerron. But this is not a sparring match. And everything is not on the line in sparring now, is it? You can't emulate in sparring your girlfriend sitting there, all your fans, the entire world that came out to see you. That's not going on in sparring. The moments, the light, everything. So, and these guys are not taking chances in the big fight because there's a lot on the line here. So in sparring, these guys are really like going at each other, pushing each other's limits, but it's a much different energy on fight night. Fight night alone, the anticipation can drain you by yourself if you don't know how to manage that. I think both these fighters have been in big fights already. Both of them are world champions and both of them undefeated. So I don't really see that being too much of a problem, right? But I do understand boxing. And I also understand that you can train in the gym back to back sessions of 12 rounds. You can do 24 rounds in sparring, right? And not feel gassed out. Because there's something about sparring that allows you to be free. You understand? On fight night, the anxiety, the anticipation, everything else that will wear you down. There have been men that have gotten a 12-round fight, and by the 10th, ninth round, they're gassed and fatigued, and they don't understand why. They know they trained 12 rounds. They know they went 12 rounds in sparring. But fight night 12 rounds is way different. And that's when, you see, I look at it like this. Jaron Boots Ennis had one fight at 54, and he starts the guy in the first round. And that was it. He hasn't really been out into deep water in that new weight division. It would be interesting for me to see if he can perform well. We just saw the other night David the Monster Benavidez jump up 12, 20, 25 pounds against Zuldo, no problem, and he stopped him. So there are the special kind of men that can do shit like this. Is Jaron Boots Ennis that guy? Is he? He's going to have to show us. Because as of right now, I'm not so convinced with all this hype with Jaron Boots Ennis. You know, I never thought I would see a day where I would like try to dissect Jaron Boots Ennis and trying to defeat him rather than speaking up for him. You see? But guess what today is? That day. And I had to really ask myself, what makes him so special? Why is he so good? And when I started looking at the guys he was doing that to, I started to see a different picture. I was seeing a real gifted, talented fighter just beat on competition way below his level. And if you're not fighting anybody on your level to bring the best out of you, that can deceive you. If you have a career of 25 of those fights out of your 30 plus fights, Jaron Boots, and it's what he has 33 fights. Out of those fights, if 25 of them are guys you fought that weren't on your level, does that benefit you or does that hurt you? When you finally get into the ring, he's got 35 fights. When you finally get into a ring with a guy that's not scared of you, that's gonna
Hey,
box you and fight you.
hey, let me catch up with the chat real quick, Edwin.
Yep.
Shout
And
out to Loy in the building. He says, who is Edwin going for in the Ennis versus Zayas fight? If so, pick the opposite. Shots fired early. Jose is in the building. He said, what's good, guys? We in the building. Hung says, hello. Jose says, Javier Centeno, better coach than Boozy. And Xander always follows the plan to the T.
he's a good student. I keep saying it. He's a good
Sackler
student.
says, good point, frontline. Where is he? Talking about Cambosos. Cambosos is nowhere to be found right now. Vic Stark, que lo que. What up, Vic?
What up,
Jose
Vic?
says, people think Xander ain't got no power, but I think he doesn't sit on his punches. Um, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Well.
Eddie, hold on.
Yeah,
Let me.
go ahead.
There's a
Read the
couple
chat.
more.
Read the chat. Go ahead.
Eddie in the building. Salute round one.
Salute.
Sports. Arnaldo and frontline. Saludo, Eddie. George Martinez. Saludo. She says salute round one. Frontline in chat. Santos. Boxing. Here he goes with his bullshit. He says, respect to Xander for making this happen, but he going to sleep good on fight night. Then he says, do you think Xander would have stopped Lima in the first round? Well, first of all,
Probably
who
so.
the
I
fuck?
think he would have.
No, well, I think so too. But who the fuck is Lima? Number
Yeah,
one.
that's what I'm saying. Xander would have starched him.
Number
Yes.
two.
Yes,
Number
he would have
two.
starched him. Yes.
When Boots fought him. Matter of fact, Edwin, I don't want to talk with fucking bullshit. When was his last fight before he fought Boots? Lima's fight. Wasn't he
Lima's.
inactive? Wasn't he inactive for like a year and a half?
Okay. I'll get that for you right now. Um.
I want to talk with facts here. I'm just
Okay.
Summer. What up?
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So Lima was, I believe, undefeated when he came into the fight with Jaron Boots Ennis, but um, yo, check it out. No, you're wrong. He wasn't off a big layoff. The last time he fought was 2025 531. Then he fought Jerron Boots in his 2025 10-11.
And then before that fight,
Before the fight before Jerron Boots, he
yes.
fought in 2024 twice. Then he fought in 2023 three times, four times. He was pretty
Okay.
active coming into the fight with Jerron Boots. He only had about a 5 months layoff, which is average in the sport of boxing. Yeah.
George says overlooking Zayas is going to be the downfall in this fight, just like Rolly and Ryan. Jose says frontline. Do you think Polanco's going to like Mayagüe? He's gonna love Mayagüe.
Okay, check this out. Check this out. And I want you guys to know this, a fun fact. Okay, this guy that Jerron Boots starched in the first round, I want you to know this. He was undefeated. His last three fighters before he fought Jerron Boots were all undefeated fighters. So he beat a German, a fucking Canadian, and I think an African. All fighters were undefeated. One fighter was 18-0, one was 19-0, and the other one was 15-0. He was undefeated, and he fought Jerron Boots coming into that fight after beating three undefeated fighters. But the fighters that he beat weren't highly ranked. They were like 3-star fighters. They weren't 4-star fighters or 5-star fighters. No, the
Santos
quality
says
wasn't
Boots
the
fought
same.
more champions and Olympians than Zayas.
Okay, let's okay, since we're gonna start making accusations, we gotta go by facts around here. And since we're gonna go by facts and not opinions, right? We're gonna have to break out the facts, right? So this is what we're gonna do. Okay. So what did he just say? He said he fought more
He
champions than
said
Olympians.
Boots fought more champions and Olympians than Zayas.
Okay, well, I don't know the answer to that question, but if we're going to get the answer, we might as well get it together as a boxing community. There's the gentleman right there, Jerron Boots Ennis, Philly's own. He has 35 fights with 31 big wins. He's a 5-star fighter in the world. You can see right here in the black circle, he is the number one, and ironically, number one with no belt at 154. As you can see right here, there are 2,366 registered fighters in the world at 154 pounds. There are 348 American fighters in the world registered. Out of all the Americans, he is number one. He is currently 28 years old. He has an 88% knockout ratio, 5'10", 74-inch arm reach. Now let's look at his Wikipedia. Okay, this tells you all. This is Jerron Boots. This is his entire boxing history. This will tell you what he did. Now, all facts is in the building, my dude. How you doing, brother? I'm bringing you up. Okay. Now, Jerron Boots professional record has defended three opponents, two by KO and world title fights. He's 1-1 against former or current world champions. He has an 88. You see that? He's 101. Okay, he has three defenses, and these are the names that he fought, the three champions. So when you're saying that, and this is his amateur highlight, he ended his amateur career 58-3. These are all his achievements up to date, all his belts. You know what I'm saying, and how he won them. They're all right here. So we will go to the gentleman in question. So he's 1-1. He got three championship fights. So let's go to his opponent, which is Xander. We can just easily go down here, click on his name. He pops up. There he is. He has 23 fights, 13 big ways by knockout. He is also ranked in the 154. Out of the 154, he's ranked number 4 in the world by BoxRec, and he has 2 belts. Jerron Boots Ennis, with no belts in the division, is ranked number 1 out of 2,366 fighters. There are 18 Puerto Rican fighters in that division. He is number 1. He's 23 years old, 5'10", 74-inch arm reach with a 56% knockout ratio. Let's look at his Wikipedia right now, just like we did that. This is Xander
You
Zayas, and
ain't
this
even
is
got
his
to go to box
Wikipedia.
set. I can name you all of the Olympians. Olympians right off the bat.
So he's just a middleweight champion. He fought against one champion in Abbas Baru. That's all he has because Abbas Baru was a champion. And since BoxRec does not acknowledge the WBA, it's not going to be here. You understand? It's not going to be on the in the ranking in the thing. I forgot about that. So we would have to be intelligent and know our history. So Baz Baru is one champion. He Perez Chino was never a champion. Spooner was never a champion. Sosa, uh,
What happened with all facts? He came in and out. He
he's
said
in.
something, but
He's here. He's here. Oh, I got him. I got him again. I got him. I got him. I got him. All right. So let's. That's what it is. So basically, um, not much of a gap difference here. I would say at all. Not much of a gap. Like
all
Allfax
facts. What
is
up?
having some problems right now. I think. I'm not sure. I
This
can
what we
hear you. I got you. What's up?
Yo, he breaking up. All facts.
Damn. All right. Hold on. He's still
Yo,
buffering out on this one.
while he figures that out,
Yep.
Santos says I think it's gonna be a good one while it lasts, but I got boots by mid to late stoppage. All facts said Lima was an IBO champ at 160. Takeover says we
Got him.
seen that resume of boots and it's garbage. All facts said he did got the proof. Takeover says Boots fought dudes with way more losses than wins. Jose said Boots got to do it on fight night, and that shit he be doing in the gym don't impress me. Takeover says Boots will become a champion at 26. Boots became a champion at 26. Zaya's at 22.
I want to.
I
I
think
want. Yep. Okay. Keep going, brother. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Keep going.
Jose says I think Xander's confidence and mental state is gonna carry some weight in the fight. Santos says I'm right. Jason Ayala, saludos. He said, "What up, round one, the front line."
What up?
That's it. I'm all caught up. All facts. What up, man?
What up?
what's up? What's up? What's up? Well, the Olympians we can name Castillo Claxton, Stanionis, motherfucking Raymond Serrano, you know, and we can keep going down the line with champions from when he was over there in PBC whooping their ass, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, Erman, Sean Porter, 2018, 2019. Well, you ain't beat no champion yet. The first
I'm losing you, all facts. I'm losing you, brother.
motherfucker to stop.
Okay. Damn, losing him. Yo, all facts. You came in and out. We didn't hear anything. All right, I want him to sort out what he's sorting out, but I want you guys to pay attention to this. Now, you guys got to understand here about fighters, right? And fighting fighters. You got to understand too. I'm not taking shots at Jerron Boots Ennis because this is common. Jerron Boots Ennis has fought in his career. Let's see about the quality in his opponents, whether they're winners, losers. What kind of fights does he start? Well, right here at the beginning of his career, he fights a loser, a guy with 1-9 record. He fights another guy that does not have a winning record, another guy that has a losing record. Between them, they don't have a single win. He fought another guy with a 3-12 losing record, 1-3 losing record, 2-4 losing record. Finally, he fought a winner, 4-2, another losing record. Right here, a winner. This is a winner right here. As he keeps going, his competition starts getting better, right? And then he got fights like this, 6-32, right? Robert Hill, he has 32 losses, right? 3-18. Look, look, look. 5-10. These guys that weren't that tough. But and then as his record gets better, his record starts to age a lot better. Now you're seeing undefeated fighters, guys with better records, 24 and 5, 23 and 5, 12 and 1, a small record, 14 and 1, 23 and 5, 28 and 2, 16 and 1, 19 and 0, 21 and 1. They start getting a lot better. 34, 30 and 4, 24 and 2, 15 and 0, and 14 and 1. And then we're here on present date. Now, for example, why did I do that? For example, let's see Xander's real quick, right? Check it out. Let's see Xander's. Well, Xander fought his first guy. At least he had a winning record. The guy was undefeated with 1 and 0. Okay, winning record. 2 and 4, that's a tied record. Another tied record. Another tied record. Winning record. 2 and 5. Now that's a losing record. He has one guy with a losing record. Does he have any more? Winning record, 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 getting better with the winning record, stronger opponents, winning records, 34 and winning record, another winning record, undefeated fighter, 34 and he only fought one guy with a 2 and 5 record. He didn't fight a guy with 3 and 32 losses. He didn't fight a guy like that. All Xander's guys were all winners, but one. So when you talk about Jaron Boots Ennis type of opponent, quality in opponents, I saw he fought a bunch of losers. He did fight a lot of winners at the end where it counts. Okay, so you can't avoid that. But I'm not taking shots at him because I say that's exactly what a beginning of a boxing career is supposed to look like. You fight these guys with losing records. But remarkably, Xander fought a bunch of winners, guys that knew how to win. They went in the ring, not going in the ring saying, I got 6 wins with 32 losses. You're a fucking loser. You're more likely to lose the fight than win it. And he fought a lot of guys like that. And I'm just bringing that up. Does this mean anything when you talk about Jaron Boots Ennis' record? It's so fabulous, right? Well, we just went down their record.
I think the eye test has got people fucked up.
No, I think his
And
athleticism got people fucked up.
yeah, the eye test.
I think he's
They
just
see the
Jaron Boots
flashiness.
Ennis. Yeah, no, he's a hell of a fighter though. Jaron is a hell of a fighter, bro.
No,
You know,
he is. He is.
he's really good. But when you let him flow, when you let Jaron Boots Ennis flow, he's gonna hurt you. He's gonna hurt you bad. He sees openings. He's got this sharp. That uppercut he hit Lima with, right on the Jaron Boots Ennis is sharp, but you see how Xander controlled Chino. You saw how Xander controlled Abbas Baru. Xander understands distance. He knows where he's at in the fight. He's a good student. He knows exactly, and Xander's not going to let you through the front door and just shell up. Xander's also not scared to get hit. And if you're
He's gonna
talking
counter
about
too.
Jaron Boots Ennis' power, my man, Xander started his career basically at 154. He's been fighting guys that cut weight, big dudes. You think none of those dudes can crack? You think they just handed Xander both those belts? Yo, Xander got a lot of balls. Out of all the fighters, name me one fighter that stepped to Sebastian Fundora, that cornered him off when he had 2 belts at his entrance when he was waiting for him right there. Yo,
See, that's the difference. You
yo,
hit the nail on the head. People like to
Sebastian,
call out.
what's up, bro?
Yeah.
I thought you the man. His sister was like, no face off, and ran him in. He done chased the champion. He made him run to the fucking locker room. No, my sister said, no face off. Boy, you was shook. Xander pulled around that corner and was like, what's up? And Xander is the reason why we're getting this fight right here. Now, I admire his courage. I admire his courage. Can he win the fight? We're about to see that. And I'm starting to think, and I'm on the line with Frontline here. Good coaching with a good student can devise a game plan to pull off one of the biggest heists in all of boxing. And I think we have the right student. I just hope he executes. Because I'm going to tell you what, Philly's Jerron Boots Ennis ain't going to show us no love. Zero. If Jerron Boots Ennis smells blood, one drop, if Xander Zayas wobbles, he's going to attack him. He's going to attack him. And he's not going to let Xander, like, recuperate. It's a big moment. We all know they want that Boots Terrence Crawford fight.
Hey, shout out to Boxing Unwrapped. He says, nah, check what the ops did after losing to Xander. Conversely, the same for Boots. Facts round one, says Vincent. Facts round one, you can't make this up. This is quality over quantity, says Jose. Loy says, is Xander going on the pound for pound if he wins?
I think he would.
Boxing on Rap says, Xander's ops went on a crazy losing streak. Vincent says, Boots dug Bakram, Kelly dug Zayas. Sackle says, Edwin is delusional.
Why?
Vincent's, I don't know. He didn't specify. He just
Could
said,
you put that? Why?
Vincent says at the end of the fight, he did mention Boots' name. People be lying. He called out Kelly, Virgil, and Boots. Facts. Sammy says, Saludos todos. May the best man win. You guys are
Absolutely. May the best
cooking.
man win.
You got a new sub. Welcome to the family, bro.
Welcome to the family, brother.
US is in the building. How it's going, fight fans. Hope y'all are having a great week.
Hmm.
Well,
Hey
listen,
yo, hey yo, hey yo, listen, hey yo, listen. Yes,
hey,
I'm gonna use
Sackle,
this.
Sackle, Sackle, write in the comment section. Why is that delusional?
Yeah,
Or
why?
click the link and hop up here and talk your shit.
Yeah, brother. We would love to know. But what the hell was I gonna say right there then too?
Pongan both that.
No. ¿Qué yo iba a decir?
Sammy says, saludos, saludos todo. May the best man win. You
Oh,
guys are
best man win.
cooking.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Um, yes, I'm gonna throw this out there. You know I'm gonna throw this out there. I got the American in the fight. If you know what I mean. Either way, Puerto Rico's America, USA. So may the best man win in fair competition. I wish Xander Zayas all the best. I wish Jerron Boots Ennis all the best. I understand that both these men have families and they have great pride in the sport they're in. This sport is led by machismo. Who's the best? You understand? Shit talking aside, get in the ring. They're saying everything else, but let's fight. And Xander said, "Mate, you don't need to say anything else. All you got to do is whisper my name." And he popped up and said, "I'll take it. As a matter of fact, I'll give you an opportunity at 50-50 in both my belts." What a class act in Xander Zayas. He didn't haggle Jerron Boots Ennis because technically he's the A side. He has two belts. Jerron Boots Ennis, you bring nothing to the equation but your name. You understand? So Xander was in a situation where he could have haggled. He could have said 60-40. He could have. But he said, you know what? I want the fight and the signing to go off without a hitch. And I don't want to hear anything. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to offer you a 50-50 split. A 50-50 split so that there's no argument. And you know what Jerron Boots Ennis does? He tries to say, well, why don't you take the 55-45 if you didn't believe in yourself? And when Xander said, listen, brother, I made you an offer didn't have to make you. I think you should be grateful that I
He said,
gave
I'll
you an
take care of my
opportunity.
family. You take care of your family.
Yeah, you should be grateful that, I'm giving you a shot at these two belts. Then after that, no sooner did he said that, Jerron Boots said, well, then if you're so confident, let's put a wager on it. Let's put some money on it. And I started seeing that real distasteful, but for whatever way you want to take it, I thought that Xander was giving him an opportunity, and Jaron Buchanan needed to be slightly more appreciated, but at the same time saying he's going to kick his ass. Because I'm not expecting Jaron Buchanan to kiss Xander's ass just for giving him the shot, but at least acknowledge, bro, we're here because of you, like he did, and be thankful on the 50-50, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Hey, shout out to Mil Pera. That's a real one right there, Edwin.
oh, yeah?
That's a real one. He said they're going to blame Ennis focusing on Devin Haney after that loss versus Zayas. That's coming. Sammy says absolutely. Vincent replies to me. Opera says, "Yup, that's gonna be the excuse for Boots." Fun Truck said the studio is lagging. I'll join from the desktop.
Okay.
Sammy says Xander had Fundura's sister scared. Told Fundura, "Let's go." She knows, they know, I know, we all know. Vincent said, "Facts. Zayas could have got more. He just wanted to fight and prove he's the best."
That's it.
They would have said Zayas outpriced himself. Listen, there's a other factor that like people are overlooking, and it's the narrative that's being pushed by by Boots. That the narrative is number one that he postponed the fight to the 27th when it was supposed to be June 6th, right?
Oh, he said that on the stage. It didn't matter.
Right.
That was, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's number one. The
Come on,
second
bro.
narrative is that Xander's not confident in himself. That's why he didn't want to bet the 55-45.
Hold on. And then logic would shoot holes right through that when you
Correct.
when you just ask, why are we here? Oh, because you gave him the fight. Oh, so you didn't have to take this fight? This is a voluntary fight for you, Xander, and you chose your opponent to be him? Well, then that punches holes all through that story now, doesn't it? That he's scared to take the 50-50, that he's scared, that he doesn't believe in himself. Well, how does a scared man be the reason why we're here? That
You know
doesn't
what it
sound
is
like a
too?
scared man to me.
You
That
know what it
means
is
that
too,
sounds like a
Edwin?
guy that wants to fight. So
When
so
you saw
that
the
logic is just ridiculous. It's
when you when
ridiculous.
when you saw the press conference, didn't you see a little nervousness coming out of Boots? Like he didn't expect for Xander to take the fight. He even said it. I didn't expect for him to take the fight. I expected him to take a
Because
easier fight.
Jerron thinks everybody's scared of him.
Yeah. Shout out to LP in
That's
the
the
building.
problem. Yeah.
LP guy that says Team Zayas, let's go. Who's doing it like PR? We want all the smoke.
Yeah.
Facts. Um, and that's just it. I mean, Boots is used to people, quote unquote, like for an example, we don't know the back end of what happened, but Virgil Ortiz, that negotiations didn't go through for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? We'll
That
never know
man's
the
looking
real
bad on
truth.
these boxing streets. I'm sorry, Virgil. He's looking real bad right
Now
now.
he is looking bad, but
No,
we
no,
don't know
he's
what
just
happened
because of
behind.
the his. I don't care.
Right.
I no longer care. Bro, let me tell you something right now. When you see something happen once, you can say, well, there could have been, but twice, wait a minute, three times, hold up, four times in your career. Bro, you could have fought Terrence Crawford multiple times. You never stepped up, but you always said on the microphone you would fight him. But you never filed the paperwork for your mandatory, nothing. Whenever it seemed like Virgil was supposed to fight that tough black American fighter, for some reason, something always happened. Are we going to be that dumb as fans and be like, wow, this is just a case of misfortune? Time and time and time and time again. And it's always the same scenario. The top American black fighter that's always in Virgil's way to becoming that champion. If it wasn't Terrence Crawford, it's Jaron Boots Ennis. And the story is the same. And like, I look, he's just looking bad. I could have avoided it like the rest of the boxing world did with Terrence Crawford. Maybe Virgil was young. Maybe he wasn't ready. Fine. But what the fuck is going on now? Are you ever gonna be ready? No, bro. No, no.
Hey,
Virgil's
Edwin,
looking bad.
let's get to the nitty gritty because I cut you off to give you the
Yeah,
what I've seen with the coaching and shit like that. How the fight's gonna end up being, up to the coaches and the student. Let's get to the nitty gritty. How do you see the fight going? Who do you? I mean, we already know who you got, but how do you see the
yeah.
fight going, and how do you see the outcome at the end?
My heart got Xander. My pride has Xander. And now today, my boxing insight has Xander. I am no longer afraid of Jerome Boots Ennis for Xander. I think he's ready. I think that when we talk about our young champion and we talk about the questions whether he bit off more than he can chew, we're not there anymore. If he took the responsibility of getting those two belts, well, now you have to man up, now don't you? There's no more sink or swim. There's you better do. That's it. You can't be a world champion and say you're not ready for the next guy coming up. If you took the responsibility as a world champion, he's not a world champion. He's a unified world champion. So let's get that right. Xander is not scared of this man. He's the reason why we are here. And he's about to test his real ability. I got to commend that. Win, lose, or draw, I make no excuse for Xander. I shy away. I believe in the kid, and he's got my full support. I think that Xander is going to win this fight by maybe split decision, majority decision, but it's going to probably go 12 rounds. I think that Xander and Jerron Boots Ennis is going to give us a show. Whether or not one of these guys gets stopped, I doubt it. I think that both fighters are too smart. They're smart. At some point, they're going to want to lock horns. I think the fight breaks out in round 4, 3, and 4. That's when typically fighters warm up. I think that Xander is going to nullify Jerron Boots and his footwork, and he's going to systematically break Jerron Boots Ennis down. I think he's going to expose Jerron Boots Ennis on a couple different boxing levels. Jerron Boots Ennis's athleticism, he's going to try to use that to overpower Xander. When Xander no longer is intimidated by his athletic ability and he controls him with the range and the jab, I think Jerron Boots Ennis is going to be in a situation he's not familiar with, a guy that's not afraid of him. And I think that Xander's going to beat him. I think that Xander's going to beat him. And I think that, there's another flip side to this coin. We can get a reality check, and Jerron Boots Ennis can go in there and show that how much levels he is above Xander. He can go in there and be too much athletic, skill wise, maybe even too powerful. We don't know that yet. I think that Jerron Boots Ennis has the potential and the skills to beat Xander. Yes. I make no mistake of who I'm talking about. I know who Jerron Boots Ennis is, and I'm very familiar with him. I think that Jerron Boots Ennis has the ability to win this fight, but not only win, he could have the ability to stop Xander because of the fact of his athletic ability. Like I said, if he gets Xander really hurt, he might not let him off the hook. For Xander, I think that if he was to hurt Jerron Boots Ennis, I think Jerron Boots Ennis has enough to survive. I think he does. I'm not sure if Xander can knock out Jerron Boots Ennis. I think that that'll be a tough assignment because he moves fairly well and he has good evasive ability. It's going to be hard to hit that cat, but not impossible. I think on points, I think that Xander, he's a good student in the fact that he makes sure that after every round, he feels like he won the round. I think Jerron Boots Ennis is more concerned about landing punches, looking flashy, and like I said, fighting off a rhythm. If Xander can't disrupt Jerron Boots Ennis's rhythm, he's going to have a long night. He's going to have a long night against Jerron Boots Ennis. Jerron Boots Ennis's strengths is his athletic ability. He has good boxing ability. He's pretty fast, and he seems to punch hard. I haven't seen him against the top level guys. The best of the best was Karen. You know what I'm saying? For him, that really boxed and fought him back. And that's all we have. Everybody else wilted under the fighter that is Jerron Boots Ennis. So we're talking about the cream of the crop here, gentlemen. Make no mistake. Xander's ready. He's ready. This is a real tough fight. It's a tough fight for me to judge, but I'm going to put my stamp on it here around one sports talk, and I'm going to call this a 50-50 fight. This for me is a 50-50 fight. It's not a 60-40 on either way. It's a 50-50. This is that type of fight that we're at the top of the food chain and we're about to see who the man is. Like I said in the beginning of this video, this town ain't big enough for the two of us. And we're about to find out in June now, aren't we? Who do you think is going to win the fight and why?
Well, before I give my take on it, shout out to Mexican boxing number one.
What up,
Jason
Mexico?
Jason says Virgil's another 10-year prospect like Boots. Mexico boxing number one says Xander by KO. Boots is getting distracted by Bud and it's working. Bud is distracting Boots on purpose. Mio says exposes the word. Sammy says, fuck man. I may have to bet on Xander. You are in full depth. I like this shit. Keep going. Richard says, saludo Richard. He says, Xander Zayas. Gana como dicen los boricua. Puñeta.
Puñeta, vamos, se acabó el abuso. Se acabó el abuso. Aquí
Sam,
es lo que es. Vamos, go.
Sammy says, it's possible, Papa. We saw what happened to Morel. Laughing emoji. Anything is possible.
Oh, 14-1 underdog. Zach, a 14-1 underdog. 2 weeks notice. Two division world champion, David Morrell. This kid had 14 days notice to fight a two division world champion. Knocked him out in the 10th round. Jesus Christ, did that happen? Wow. That's got to be one of the biggest upsets of 2026 so far. A
Oh, yeah.
14-1 underdog? Jesus.
LP God says Boots down bad. Need a 23-year-old to help his career, and he's going to help Zaya's career instead. Crying emoji.
Yeah, buddy.
Mio says all I know is a 23-year-old is way more disciplined in the ring, and that wins tough matches.
Thank you.
Facts.
Thank you. Facts. Facts. He's a
So
disciplined fighter. Yo, Xander doesn't even have a girlfriend, bro. He's all boxing, bro. He's all in.
he's either all boxing or money going el cabrón.
No. You know he be banging chicks and shit. You know Xander be out there. Them chicks be all over
Nah,
him, right?
nah, I know.
But he's
That's me.
not
I gotta throw
willing.
my jabs out there. You know how I am.
He's not willing. He's not willing to be in a relationship right now. He's like, listen, all I got is motherfucking hard D and bubble gum, and I'm fresh out of bubble gum, baby. So this is all I got for you, and I gotta go in the morning. He knows his task. His assignment is not over with. You hear him talking. He
And he's
wants to
locked
get.
in, bro.
He wants to
Have
buy
you seen?
mama. He wants to buy mama that big house.
Yo,
You know
have
what
you
I'm
seen his
saying?
training videos,
Oh, of course.
bro? He's looking sharp.
He's looking
I mean,
big too.
yeah, he is. And don't get me wrong, Boots is looking sharp too. But
Yo, did you see him in that video with I Got Speed?
yes,
When I Got Speed asked him, what weight division you fight in? He said 154. He went, 154? You big as shit for
you big as
150. You
shit.
big as shit for 150. Yo, Xander's not little. He ain't little. And I think he's bigger than that 5'10 shit. Because remember, that 5'10 measurement was the 5'10 when Top Rank signed him when he was 16. He started at 17 with them, but he was already signed at 16.
Hey, shout out to Jersey in the building. Says Boots the same way. He's gonna stop Xander. Keep lying to yourself.
I
Yeah, hey
like it.
Jersey, keep that
I
same
like
energy.
it.
June
I like it.
27th,
I like it. I like
and
it. I
tune
respect
back
it.
in. Don't duck, no smoke.
Hey yo, peep game, guys. Listen, man, real talk, real boxing talk, right? I fucking love both these fighters, but one of us got to win. One of us got to win. And my message, I will keep saying this. This is a fight that put the wedge between what I really believe and what I view as boxing and boxing legacy. Simple. It's simple. It's very simple for me. And when I was put in that position, um, I was asked to believe in my fighter, my country. Not every day will I fall down that rabbit hole. Okay? When they asked me to back up like fighters like Edgar Berlanga and shit like that, not all Puerto Rican fighters, I was just ready to jump on the bandwagon. You got to also prove yourself, don't you? It's not all about just your flag and being optimistic and hopeful. Is your fighter good, in fact? And I have to admit, Xander's good. Xander's good. He's leading the way for Puerto Rico, like fighters like Oscar Collazo and Chulo Santiago. They are leading the way for Puerto Rico right now. We just lost a title with Subriel Matias, and he's trying to make a return, and I still believe in him, but I believe in Xander a bit more. When we're talking about the top fighter of your country, that's Xander for us. And at what point did I ever think or say to myself, you know what? I'm full of shit. This kid's going to get his ass whooped. No, I don't believe that. I think Xander is a decent boxer, a good student in the game, and he has a great coach now. You know, and when people were saying, get rid of your coach and do this for Xander, you know, I see why he's stuck with his coach. This man knows him and you know, intimately. This man knows his student. And he asks Xander, you know, one of the one things I like about Xander's coach? Xander's coach asks him, what do you see? What's going on in there? He checks in with his fighter. He takes data from him and he gives him right information back. That's a team. That's a coaching team. You're utilizing your coaching, and your coaching is listening to his fighter. All these elements I take into account. This is a very important fight for us. I really looked into this fight in depth, you know, and Fun Truck finally came up here, and I would like to hear what he has to say about this fight. Fun Truck, what's up, my brother?
Dang, the fighter that I think is going to win and the fighter that I want to win are different. I think
Yes.
Boots is, I think Boots is going to win, but I really want Xander to win. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So that being
Respect
said,
it.
listen. I just watched or heard Lewis Crocker announced against Liam Paro. Xander
Yes.
could have done something. Xander could have done something different. Similarly, he could have picked the number 15th or somebody easy to defend his belt against. That's what they say. Like, you're not a champion until you defend it once, right? But he's picking to defend it against the best man in boxing right now. Like, Boots is
Yeah.
definitely up there in terms of the level
Well,
test. And
in terms of just to to help you out here, Front Truck, Xander already has a title defense.
mm,
He has a title defense against Abbas Baru because he went into the fight as a champion when he beat Chino for the vacated belt. So
that's correct.
when he fought Abbas Baru, that was
Mm,
a unification, and he beat him for his belt. So
that's right.
that's just just to add to it. So when you're
Correction,
thinking,
correction. Okay. Well, yeah. Then choosing to defend both belts against the boogeyman and Boots. You could have
mm-hmm,
easily gone a different route.
mm-hmm,
Um, Got to give props where it's due. And at the end of the day, I think that Xander's going to do a lot better than people. It's not going to
I
be a
think he is.
walkover.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I see in that fight? Um, I see Xander frustrating Boots, and it can turn out to be scrappy little fight at the end. Because Boots is going to get frustrated, and Xander's going to have to meet him halfway.
Yep.
I got.
I
Hey,
like. Yep, go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah,
frontline.
real quick. Yo, Fun Truck, what up? Let me catch up with the chat. Yo, shout out
Yep.
to True Media, True Power Media. Shout out to William Old School. Yo, go check out William Old School over at Angry White Man with D1. They be cooking over there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who else is in here? Richard said, "Me voy con Zayas por decisión dividida, puñeta, carajo." I mean, he said he's going with Xander by split decision.
Split decision. Okay.
Jason says, "Big fight for Xander, bigger fight, fight for Boots with all the hype around him."
Absolutely.
LP LP says Team Zayas. Jersey says I disagree. Xander made the best decision for him and his family. Boots is the biggest money fight available. That's not true. That's not true.
No.
That's not true. It's a good money fight. I mean, to the fans, that's what you guys think. But these promoters on the back end, they see something. They know that a unification fight would you would make more money on a unification fight because now you got multiple sanctioning bodies involved versus just the two that he's got here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Um,
Yep. Go ahead.
Mio
Finish your
says
thought.
Boots gets messy when he gets clipped.
He
That's
does. He
we haven't
does.
gotten there
He
yet,
does.
Mio.
He
We haven't
does.
gotten there
No,
yet,
but
Mio.
we gotta get to there. Come on, let's. Yep. Go ahead. He
All
does.
right, so Fun Truck. Okay, so Fun Truck got Boots winning, but he wants Xander to win.
Yeah.
Okay, I got Xander winning.
Oh wait. Before you get into that, I just hold your thought. As far as the gentleman that said that he took this fight with Jerron Boots Ennis because it's the biggest cash fight and the biggest thing, I don't deem that to be true. Because if he would have took Josh Kelly and fought him out there in the UK or even in Puerto Rico or something for the three belts, I
Or Fundora
guarantee,
for the third belt.
or he fights Fundora, I guarantee you that fight would have sold out way more than this Jerron Boots Ennis fight. I think that the Jerron Boots Ennis fight are gonna bring out the American fans, yes, and the Philly fans, and I think he has his fair share of fans. He sold out in Philly twice, so he does good out here. So it's not going to be a far travel from Philly to New York. And as we all know, New York City is another Puerto Rico. So I think it's the perfect place. But I'm not too sure if he makes his most money. That hasn't been seen with Jerron Butsenis. Because the day that Xander gets that third belt or goes after that third belt, I'm telling you, a lot of Puerto Rican fans silently are waiting for this moment, whether they want to admit it or not. All real boxing hardcore Puerto Rican fans know we've never had a three belt champion. On that
Hey,
day, you're
Jersey, I
gonna
think the
see the
link's in the
entire
chat.
Puerto Rico is literally gonna jump. The island's gonna jump up and go wherever the fight's at. I guarantee it.
Hey,
I
Edwin, drop the link.
guarantee it. Yep.
Jersey wants to come up here and talk his shit. Let him
I
talk his
got you.
shit.
I got you.
LP says that's not true. Zayas confirmed he would have got paid regardless. He's unified champion. He wanted the smoke, and Boots didn't really want this fight. He had no choice. Mio says that's false to the net against a disciplined boxer. There you go, Jersey. Links in the chat. Just click on it
Jersey.
and hop on.
I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I was born in Newark, New Jersey. Brick City. I went to Roberto Clemente Street School down there by the 77 steps that used to be there that go up to Seatown. I used to run around that whole neighborhood right there in Newark, New Jersey when I was a kid and shit. I was born in fucking my hospital that I was born in it's already tore down. They tore it down. St. John's, I think it is. They tore it down and shit. But I'm from Jersey. Yeah. I'm from Newark. What up, Jersey? Jersey in the building. What it do, my brother? How you doing? Jersey, you there? Jersey, I can hear you, but I can't. You're not talking. What up? Busy?
check the me.
Huh?
There
What
you
up?
go.
There you go. Yo,
No,
Jersey, what up?
no. This is front truck. I'll fill the
Front
dead air
truck,
if
what
you
up?
need me to. Yo, so Canelo versus Jake Paul. Just some thoughts on it, real quick, if you haven't touched on it.
What do you
Um,
mean Canelo getting Jake Paul? That's real?
oh, Jake Paul put a video out saying he's got the 200 million for Canelo, and then he put out a video of them FaceTiming that they got the fight. I mean, it's not like officially confirmed, but it looks like it's going to be sometime next year.
Really?
Yeah, and originally, remember, Canelo was supposed to fight Jake Paul on Netflix before Bud, but the Turkey halted that. Turkey put up the
But
money. He said, don't let Legacy. He said, like, go after Bud. Beat Bud, and don't go after
right,
the Disney star.
right, right,
So Canelo also does whatever the fuck he wants. If Jake Paul's offering him 200, he's gonna tell Turkey, sorry, I know that I said I wouldn't, but I'm gonna go there and take the 200. You know.
right, right.
So that I think this is all getting worked out right now, and just some initial thoughts. I think that Canelo knocks him out. Or
Oh yes,
he,
absolutely. I think he stops Jake Paul. He's way out of his league. If that fight ever happens, Canelo go in there and give him a boxing clinic and probably knock out Jake Paul like AJ did, or even better. He'll probably
First,
stop him better,
thank you,
worse.
thank you, Ramon. I've been saying that all along.
Yeah, no,
People.
that the jaw might not be broken, but the ass whooping is going to be so much worse than
Yeah,
AJ's. AJ
I
gave him
agree.
that good solid punch, but it's going to be a barrage of punishment round by round, and he's going to
Yeah,
systematically, and then he's probably going to knock out Jake Paul.
yeah. How about this? How about Jake Paul seen that right hand coming? He braced for impact. It was like getting in a car wreck. I'm sure it hurt,
Yeah,
but check this out. With
yep.
Canelo, you don't see that hook coming. You don't see that
No.
hook coming.
No,
That's the one that gets you.
with AJ, he was so exhausted that he saw the punch coming and he couldn't move out the way. I've been there before, like in
Yeah,
sparring, you could see the fucking punch coming. You're like, damn, but you're
yeah,
just
yeah,
exhausted.
yeah.
You just fucking fatigued. You just couldn't do nothing,
Hey,
and
speaking of
that's where
sparring, hey,
AJ
Fun
had
Truck,
him.
I saw your little sparring video. You dropped a little short.
Yeah,
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, you got to keep your hands up though. You got your hands too low.
hey, he's working on it. He's working on it. Hey, yo,
Yeah.
Jersey, did you finish your mic? Did you finally, Jersey? You there?
Connect the Bluetooth.
I don't know, man. You got to take off the Bluetooth,
This
hook
guy's.
up to the.
I'm assuming he's older than. No, I'm just joking. I was gonna make an old man
Oh,
joke.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I would love to hear what he has to say. He obviously came up here and he won. I hope he figures it out, the audio or whatever. But the show must go on. What's it say down there? Right there, it says Boots need a big
Boots needed
fight.
a big fight, not Zayas. He
What
just
you be?
wanted to get. He just wanted to get the
Oh,
third belt from Kelly, and he sent a contract to Madrimov.
because check this out, right? Jerron Boots Ennis and Josh Kelly are under the same promotional in Ed Hearn. So they have the same promoter. So if the fight wanted to be available for the third fight, it was there. You were talking already with the same promoter, okay, that got you the Jerron Boots Ennis fight. Now, Ed Hearn, as a promoter, I don't know this to be true. I'm just thinking out the process. I'm saying to myself, okay, if you're a promoter and you have two good fighters, you got Jerron Boots Ennis, former world champion in the other weight division, 147, undefeated fighter, and you got newly crowned champion in Josh Kelly with the IBF. Okay, why would you send your champion to try to get the two belts first? Why don't you send your undefeated better fighter, quiet as kept, no disrespect to Josh Kelly, and Jerron Boots Ennis to try to get Xander's belts? Because this way, if Jerron Boots Ennis was to fail, you got another shot at his belts and you have something Xander wants. The right move to make was to send out Jerron Boots Ennis first. Don't send out Josh Kelly, because say in a good world he would have put out Josh Kelly. Say Xander beats Josh Kelly, gets the third belt. What does he need Jerron Boots Ennis for? Just giving him a shot at three belts? Or go after Sebastian Fundora? In that way, I don't think the Jerron Boots Ennis fight ever occurs. Because once he beats Josh Kelly, he's just going to fight Sebastian Fundora. Where does Jerron Boots Ennis fit into the equation? So, as a boxing promoter, I thought Ed Hearn said, wait a minute, I'm going to send out Jerron Boots Ennis first. If he falls, I still got Josh Kelly. And we all know Xander wants that third belt. You're going to get another fight, another payday, and another big match for the three belts. So the exact way it was supposed to play out, you were supposed to put out Jerron Boots Ennis.
Yo, Mio says Kelly's a pretty difficult fighter. Speed kills. Jason says, I was hoping Xander would get the Josh Kelly fight.
Of
Mio
course.
says, Kelly, in my book, it's a more difficult fight.
Well, Kelly, the difference between Kelly, he's the type of fighter that can lure you to sleep with a lot of movement. Josh Kelly had Bakram there frustrated. He had him frustrated. Morataya Bakram.
Bachram, you said it. You
Yeah,
said it.
yeah, I said it right. Thank you. He had him frustrated, and what Josh Kelly is, he's the kind of European fighter that has an American slick swagger. He's a very crafty puncher. Crafty. He sneaks in shots on you that you least expected. And he's starting to use more mobility in showboating, but it's controlled showboating. The showboating that he was doing was frustrating the shit out of Bakram. And he started trying to knock him out. Now, he did score a knockdown in the fight. He put Josh Kelly down. Josh Kelly got up, got, survived, made the adjustments, and stood further out again. Um, Josh Kelly is crafty. He's tricky. He's a tricky fighter. Um, but he can be caught. Josh Kelly can be caught. I don't think Bakram is a better fighter, boxing technical boxer than Xander. No, I just think Bakram hits hard. That's it. I think he has a lot of good pressure, and that pendulum step that they use, that bouncing step, Josh Kelly nullified that by movement. He didn't allow him to get set in the dark in the movement because he kept moving. He had to recenter himself every time Josh Kelly was spinning around him. And Josh Kelly used that and the frustration to make him make mistakes. He's a very crafty fighter, Josh Kelly. Yeah, with a bit of American swagger sprinkled on top. That's what he is. And I think that Xander is a better fundamental boxer, a better fundamental. And if a fight's ever close for me, I'll take the fundamental boxer over the spontaneous boxer any day.
I think Xander is better than what Kelly does. Exactly. And bigger. So
Mm-hmm.
I think Kelly is an Olympian, right? And he has two losses on
Mm-hmm.
his record. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he can be beat.
I think Xander will beat him easily. Not, I mean, I think 7-5. How about that?
Yeah.
That's how I see Xander beating Boots.
Mm.
I got all right, so listen, my breakdown. I think round one and round two are gonna be probably the most boringest rounds in boxing
And the
history.
Boots
And
and Gerard, the
yeah,
Boots
and the
Ennis
Xander
versus
Zayas.
Xander. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let
Here's
us know what
why.
you're talking about. All right.
Here's why.
Okay. Go ahead.
Because they're gonna study each other so damn well in those first two rounds.
Uh huh.
The fight's gonna break out, like you said, 3 and 4.
That's where I think. Yeah.
That's where it's gonna really break out.
Yeah.
Now, knowing Javier Centeno and his game plan, I think at least me being Xander's trainer is it's what I would do. I would take Boots to deep waters, right? And what I mean by that is you said it. he had 24 rounds with Karen, and then he had another 12-round fight, but he only went 10 rounds. Or what was it? The Venezuelan Villa,
Mm-hmm.
Roman Villa,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna be honest with you. I can see Xander stopping Boots with a body shot in the
Woohoo!
later rounds, somewhere around 10, 11, 12, or going to the cards and win by, I would say, a majority. I'm not even gonna say split. I'll say a majority decision.
Oh yeah.
You can make some
Um,
money if you bet like that, bro.
I'm not a gambler, so I mean I don't gamble on sports. I
Me
did it
neither.
one time. I did it one time with
with
Edgar. We
me,
took
with
a
me.
fucking
Yeah.
we
We
did a
popped our
fucking
cherry.
parlay. It was fucking hilarious.
We
We
took
bet
all
a
the
hundred.
underdogs. We went for the money. We went
Yo,
for the
we bet
money. We went
$100.
against all our boxing knowledge. We went
It,
crazy. We what did say $10 for 1,500. Take that guy. Yo, we were
yo,
amateur gamblers.
our
Yeah, we lost all
parlay,
our money.
our
Crazy.
parlay was we bet $100
A
and
hundred
we win.
dollars. I put 50. He
What
put 50. Yeah.
what was the total number we win if we hit our parlay? It was something crazy like
We would
50
have like
something
50,
thousand.
15,000, something like that. Yeah. We would have hit our
It was
parlay. We would have get like 15,000 or some
it was
shit.
crazy.
Yeah, we went for the money. We lost our mind. Yo, it was like they
After
were
that
like the
first fight, we was like, oh,
odds.
there goes our
All our
parlay.
boxing insight went out the window. Yeah, we went right for the money,
We did that
sucking
shit
us
for
right
fun
in.
though.
Yeah, never gamble with money you can't afford to lose. That's my motto, I guess. If you just want to have a good time, I mean, I when I say I don't gamble, I have gambled in my life, yes, but I've gone to the casino and every night or whatever, I had a limit. Like if I lose this 300 or 500, then that's it. I'm going upstairs and I'm good. So I think I just had luck because I was just a new gambler and people always said that. I went down with the 300, I came up with 1,500. I didn't lose. I just gave up because I couldn't lose. Then I wanted to lose the money. Then I went downstairs again, the other night, the next night, and I came back up with more money. And I just got lucky because I really didn't know what I was doing. Okay. Because I'm not going to front like I'm a professional. No, I'm telling you the truth. I had no idea what I was doing. They were teaching me how to do it at the table. I was just winning. I don't know how I was doing it. Okay. But like I just, I always just was down that motto, like, why gamble on money that's already in my pocket? You know what I'm saying? I'm just that type of person, and it's in the name, gambling. Never betting something in life you can't control. If I'm going to invest my money in something, I want to know that I'm getting a return. That's all. And I learned that early. I lost some money gambling at an early age and it stunned so much that I said never again. But I have gambled, yes. I'm not gonna sit here and say I haven't, but just to protect you guys. If you guys ever hear me talking about matches and stuff and you're gonna put money on it, be honest with me. And then I'll give you my gambling prediction. Sometimes we fuck around, we have a great time here, we pick guys, but I get serious and I tell you, like I told you guys
Yeah, don't
on
listen to me.
like I told you guys in the last match when we went into it, I said, I'm gonna tell you the way if you're putting money on it, I'm gonna tell you which way to go. I said, go the decision. What did the fight be? It was a decision. When the Devin Haney fight, what happened? They said round one. Well, if you gonna put money, who do you got? I said, take Devin Haney over Brian Nomas Jr. Unanimous decision. What happened? He beat him. Boom, unanimous decision. So I'm not always right, but at least I know, but I don't encourage the gambling shit. Like, yo, y'all do what you want to do. Don't be up here. Round one, you done told me this. I put my money. Nah, we ain't. I'm not playing that. I'm not trying to like just be patient and get your money. And if you ever gonna put your money in shit, make sure it's a sure thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I suggest if you're in need. If you sometimes I feel like when you're not in need and you're not desperate, I fucking win shit. But whenever I needed money, I always, if I was to gamble something, I would lose. I would lose because I needed it. But whenever I'm having like fun and I didn't care about the money, I fucking couldn't lose. Even with my son, I told you the story about my son, and he was here. Like my son goes to the Fox Casino, and that's he does this. And I just be like, but whenever, because I guess my spirit is not desperate or in need, and my energy is good or whatever. I don't know how that works, but I'm just saying protect yourselves. And in this fight, I'm just being honest in every aspect of the fight. I'm telling you, you're on your own when it comes to gambling. You want to put your money on a fight, do you? Okay? I can't tell you what to do. We all grown men. Honestly, I'm giving you my honest assessment on this fight, what I really believe. This is what I truly believe. I don't think Xander is as young or as green as they're claiming to be. And I don't view Jaron Bucenis as this phenom as they're claiming to be. When you get back from being a prisoner of the moment or a fan of your fighter, let's say you're from Philly, of course you can't go against the grain. You know how many Puerto Rican dudes are going with Jaron Bucenis, not Xander? Respect. Respect. Y'all from Philly. Y'all better show some loyalty to fucking Jaron Bucenis. But for to the Puerto Ricans that are rocking with the Boricua flag, I also get it. But that's why that's why this boxing shit is prideful. It could do something for a person. Let me tell you something. That man right there, Mike Tyson, did a lot for my childhood. When the Americans were finally the heavyweight champion, it wasn't some fighter named Bruno, Lennox Lewis, or some. It was an American, a young New York American. He looked like us. He talked like us. And we can relate. And in an era when I was growing up, when I didn't even know what it meant to be a Puerto Rican, the white people used to look at us and say, what are you trying to be black? What are you trying to be white? We didn't feel like we had an identity in America. 86, 84. I remember what it was like back then. And that man right there made it prideful for me. I was talking shit when Mike knocked motherfuckers out the next day. Did you see that shit? Like, yo. And he just, Mike was so raw, in your face, unapologetic. And I fucking loved it. Fucking loved it. You know, to see a man like rise from obscurity. Like, he made me believe in shit. And fighters can do that for you. I don't know why you watch boxing. I watch it for excitement, the sweet science, the knockouts, for all of the above. I truly watch fighting. It's a pretty decent fighter in my own right in my
Hey,
day. But shit
hey, shout,
happens.
shout out to Bull Rider. He says Xander will be coming with his running shoes on. Facts.
Yeah,
He won't exchange with boots.
nah, he's gonna come with his running shoes and he's gonna use them to run to the ring as fast as possible so he can fuck up Jaron Boots Ennis. But when he gets into the ring, he's gonna put on his boxing shoes. Yeah, he's not gonna run from Jaron Boots Ennis at all. If Xander uses his legs in this match to run from Jaron Boots Ennis, then Jaron Boots Ennis better be careful because he's gonna walk into something. Whatever strategy you see Xander do, it's not out of fear based. He's not running because he's scared. He's running because he's going to set you up. Xander's a pure fighter. A pure fighter. Did you hear him talk on Najee Cigar Talk and those other interviews where when Xander used to go up to the tournaments in his weight class, he used to just be like, yup, I'm going to fuck him up, I'm going to beat him. He never thought, when they asked him, who is the guy that was your rival, the guy you most feared? No one. I went in there full hearted, expected to win. That's a fighter's mentality. Xander ain't never gonna run from Jerron Boots Ennis. You gotta understand, nobody's scared in this fight. Jerron Boots Ennis is not scared of Xander, and Xander is not scared of Jerron Boots Ennis. He didn't take this fight to go in there and run from him. I don't believe that. Hell no. And I don't think that Jerron Boots Ennis possesses that kind of ability that he's going to hit Xander so hard that he's going to shell up. Now, that, my friend, I would have to see that. There's nothing I can think of that I say Jerron Boots Ennis is just going to wipe down Xander. He's just going to be far too much. Whatever gave me that impression? People talking hype? People saying how athletic by the names the Phenon? Because other than that, you didn't look that good against Karen. And every time, you only been to deep waters 3 times in your career. 2 12-round fights with Karen and 1 10-round fight. Well, it was a 12. He stopped the guy in the 10th. Right? So, who are we talking about here? Where's
Hey,
this fucking phenomenal phenom that they done built up so much? What exactly did he do? Oh, yeah. He rode the coattails of the champ, Terrence Crawford. That's what he did. You see, because once upon a time, Jerron Boots Ennis twice was Terrence Crawford's mandatory. Twice, Jerron Boots Ennis could have put in the paperwork to fight Terrence Crawford. And twice, Jerron Boots Ennis came out publicly and attempted to fight Terrence Crawford. The only thing was he wasn't big enough to get the champion's attention. And like a little baby, he cried and pouted. Oh, you wouldn't fight me. You didn't give me a chance. Well, I didn't see it equal. Neither did I. What did you do, Jerron Boots Ennis, to prove or merit you deserved a shot against an accomplished fighter like Terrence Crawford? Where did you feel he owed you anything? The only argument Jerron Boots Ennis has is that he was actually his mandatory 2 times. The problem is he just didn't have enough status that Terrence Crawford took him serious. He was a mandatory that he ignored. You weren't worthy, is what Terrence said to you. Then Terrence told him on a podcast, when I crossed you, why didn't you say anything to me in public? You always have something to say on the microphone, Jerron Boots Ennis, but not when I'm walking by you. Right? Okay. So Superman, Terrence Crawford, because he's Superman, he was going this direction. He was getting bigger fights. He was doing other stuff. He went up to that 154 and got that fight at 154 and got one of the belts. But in actuality, he won 2 belts on that night. The other one was just a WBO interim. That's all. But it was 2 belts, right? Okay. At that moment in Terrence Crawford's career, he didn't acknowledge Jerron Boots Ennis and he went up to 154. Because here's the thing. Terrence Crawford never defended none of his belts when he got on undisputed status. And I understood why. Terrence Crawford wasn't going to give no man the opportunity to beat him on one night and get all the belts. You understand? Terrence Crawford is not going to give one guy an opportunity. What he says is get it out the mud like I got it. I had to get all 4 belts individually or 2 by 2 or fight one guy for 4. Well, do it like I did it. He doesn't feel like he should give anybody that kind of opportunity. Some fighters don't feel like they should defend all that. So Terrence Crawford was going different. And from that 154 fight, you saw what he did. He fought Saul Canelo Alvarez. So there was a strategic move to gain weight, beat a champ in another weight division, get 4 weight divisions under your belt, go up and get your 5th. Strategic. Legacy. You got 5 weight divisions with 3 undisputeds. You're adding shit. What does Jaron Boots Ennis give you? A title defense? A title defense. Rather than another division and legacy. Jaron Boots Ennis just didn't have enough. But as you can see in social media right now, you guys keep pulling on Superman's cape. Go ahead. Keep hyping up Jaron Boots Ennis like he's the next Terrence Crawford. Go ahead. Keep pissing off. If Xander Zayas is to fall to Jaron Boots Ennis, guess who's going to come up? Terrence Crawford, I bet you. He's going to silence, because when you deal with a man that is, see, Terrence is the type of man that doesn't like to share the spotlight. All the greats are like this. They like to walk in a room and notice everybody looks at him and says, there's the champion right there. There's no room for talking the town that some guy is better than you. Terrence don't like that shit. And if Xander doesn't pack up Jaron Boots Ennis, the one fight, it's not Saul Canelo Alvarez that's going to bring him back. I don't believe that. I think the fighter that'll bring him back would be Jaron Boots Ennis if he can beat Xander. If that happens, you guys keep talking about Terrence like Jaron can just pack him up just because he's younger, whatever. Listen, about boxing, Terrence forgot more about boxing than Jaron Boots Ennis actually has ever been a boxer in his career. The shit that Terrence does is on a way different level than Jaron Boots Ennis. Fight fans need to relax on the fact that you guys are being a little bit too crazy over the fact of how athletic this guy is. But you're not noticing that Terrence is the same athletic talent and more. The when and the where to let off your punches and the sequence and to be able to read your opponent before he makes a movement, Jaron Boots Ennis can't do that. Terrence can. There's a difference between quality of fighters. Yo, this dude, Jaron Boots Ennis, is very good, flashy, good tech, like he's not technical. He's more rhythm and spontaneous, and he lets his hands go. And he can put his hands together pretty fucking well. But Terrence Crawford is meticulous, smart, crafty. I think he's too much for Jaron Boots Ennis. He's not that kind of fighter.
Hey, Conquest said straight in the wheel.
Check it. Look at this. Listen to me. I don't think Jaron Boots Ennis would do that to Saul Canelo Alvarez. I really don't. Just because one good American slick style did it to him doesn't mean the next one would. Why? Why didn't the Charlo twin do it? I thought the Charlo twin was bigger, stronger, faster. He went up to 168 and drowned. Not every American slick style can beat Canelo. What Crawford did in that ring was much more than outsmarting him. He knew what Canelo was going to do. He was reading Canelo like like a glove brother. Not all fighters can do that.
Let me catch up with the chat.
Wait up. Jaron Boots Ennis cannot do that. And the evidence that I have of that, Karen, not once but twice. If he could read and make adjustments, he would have read Karen, figured him out, and stopped him. He couldn't read Karen. He couldn't cut off the ring. He couldn't nullify Karen. He couldn't take away Karen's best attributes. There's the proof. He's not that kind of fighter. Terrence is way above levels than him, bro. You gotta stop being enamored by just all this fucking flashiness and understand what real boxing entails. Jerron Boots Ennis could not nullify Karen. He couldn't make adjustments. He couldn't nothing. He didn't shut him down. The second fight, he did a lot better. But did he stop him? What did he learn in the first fight? If he's so good at making reads, adjustments, what the fuck happened if you fought him the second time? The same outcome? Just a little bit better ass whooping. Bro, he is not better than Terrence Crawford, bro. Brothers need to wake up. Go ahead, read the chat, bro.
The letter M says Hearn versus White. Pro fight. Who you got? We talked about it before. um,
I think Dana White gets him. I think Dana White gets him. I don't know. I think Ed Hearn's a pussy, man. I'm sorry, Ed Hearn. Yo, he's a tall dude. That dude's like 6'4", 6'5". When I met Ed Hearns, I was talking to him and shit, but I got a habit because I worked a lot. And when you look at a man's hands or you shake a man's hands, man is defined by the calluses on their hands. You can see work. You can see he didn't have an easy life. His hands are working hands. But Ed Hearn's hands were smooth as a baby. Motherfucker had a pedicure, everything. His knuckles were nice and smooth. Them hands don't look like they've ever been in a fight in his life. And Dana White is not a pushover. He's had a couple scraps, and at least we got him on video smacking his wife, so we know he's a wife beater, right? So, I just think that Ed Hearn is a bit more tougher. But I tell you what, if you could train Ed Hearn, I think Dana White's a bit more tougher. But if you could train Ed Hearn to survive the storm that is Dana White, he's a big dude, bro. Ed Hearn's not a little dude. If you could teach him how to put some torque behind his shot and him have confidence in his shot, you never know. Like I'm telling you, Ed Hearn's not a little dude, man. He's way bigger than Dana White. Yeah, but Dana might have more body mass than Ed Hearn. He might be thicker. I just think that Dana White, he's argued with a lot of mixed martial art guys and had debates and dudes come at him. And I think he's just been in a tougher situation, a tougher upbringing than Ed Hearn. That's all. But yeah,
old school says LOL, and that's usually the way it goes. When you need something, it doesn't happen. But if you ain't need it, it happens. And
yeah,
he's
with the
talking about
gambling. Yeah,
the
the
gambling
gambling.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
That's how
letter
it
M.
happens. Yeah.
The letter M says Zayas will beat Boots' ass. Dave's real salute. He says Zayas will do what Virgil didn't
Yeah.
dare to do. Let's go.
Mm,
Zayas sacrificing his O and his two belts. Who's doing that at 23 with one of the best?
that's right.
Jason says
That's
Xander ain't
right.
running from Boots like Virgil. Laughing emoji.
Let's go. Let's
And
go.
Conquest salute. I already read that. He says straighten the wheel. Dave's real says, didn't they say Teal was so athletic? How did that play out for him?
Yeah.
Conquest says, and left his fresh New Balances. Laughing emoji. William Old School says, Dana White would beat Eddie Hearn's ass. There's reasons Tito Ortiz ducked the boxing match with Dana. Mio says, you can't teach that shit, round one. You are born with it. Eddie, just a cool dude.
Yeah. Hey, Eddie just comes from, no, his father did the right thing, was, brought his sons up, he had money and shit. I just don't think that Ed Hearn is cut out for that, and I've seen him like boxers fuck with Ed Hearn and like throw, shadow boxing with him and shit. And I saw Ed Hearn like square up. Yo, he was awkward as hell. He didn't know what to do. He was like this. He didn't know what to do at all. I forgot what boxer was fucking with him, going like that to him, to Ed Hearn. And he was going like this. So And he was actually trying. Ed Hearn was like trying to be like a tough guy, like to show, but he was just so awkward.
Hey, but let
So
me ask you something. Who do you think out of his stable,
who Ed
like
Hearn
he
stable?
at Hearn stable, who
Okay.
do you think he would pick if the fight was to happen? Who do you think he would pick to train him and get him ready for that Dana White fight?
Um he would probably go with a UK trainer. I would think so. I don't know. I really I shit. There's so many. I He'd probably go with like somebody like AJ's coach because he works with tall fighters. Someone like that trained AJ before, Tyson Fury's coach. Guys like that. Sugar Hill, uh,
Conquest says he'll go with Andy Lee.
Andy Lee. There you go, Andy Lee. Yes, I could see that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very much so.
And
Um,
Dana, you think he'll probably just use his UFC camp,
yeah, he'll
right?
just walk downstairs. He'll just walk downstairs to the basement to the UFC center where he has striking coach, boxing coaches, who's ever's there that's good enough. They're training world class boxers for the Zuffa. He'll walk down to Zuffa, whatever boxing coaches and shit. He's got everything downstairs in his basement, Dana White. He just has got to pull up to his own shit. So it's not a question of where I think Dana White would go. He's just going to his own institute. And he's gonna have his guys train him to whoop Ed Hearn's ass. Now Ed Hearn would have to find somebody like Lee, Andy Lee, I think. That's a good one right there. That's a real good one. Um, I just want guys also that he worked with that worked with tall guys too, because Ed Hearn is fairly tall. Like I think that Dana White's like what, all of 5'10. I don't even think he's 6 feet tall. So they're like this in real life. Like when Dana White walks up to Ed Hearn, they're like this. That's what they look like. But Ed Hearn can't fight. And I don't care about that made up record they made. Ed Hearn got like 3 fights or whatever, and Dana got like 10. That's all bullshit. They just add that for where has Ed Hearn ever fought? Never. In the month of Neverwary. That's all just made up shit. I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't think he can fight, bro. But it's not saying that you can't train him to fight. It all depends how he absorbs it and how he performs. That's it. If Ed Hearn goes out there with that crazy white boy rage, you ever see it? I've seen it in school, right? You got that crazy white dude, he can't fight, right? But the dude is fucking him up. Pow, pow, pow. What's the white dude do? Pow, pow. Ah, let's go. Come on. And he fucking comes at you like that. He can't fight, but his will and his determination is on a next level. He might not know how to put it together, but he's going to keep coming at you with that craziness. You know what I'm saying? He fighting you like this and shit. You can't even understand it and shit. He fighting you like this and shit. Come on. Come on. Like on some crazy shit. Those kind of guys that just because they don't know how to put it together, some guys can wilter under that. Just his ferociousness, like they're like, oh shit, you know. So can he be? Does he got? Is Ed Hearn built like that? Does he have that, or would
I
he
think you
cower
keep
away?
Dana away with the jab alone, just
Would
with
he
the reach
cower away if
advantage.
Dana just came pow pow pow? Would he just fold up in the fetal
Hey, real
position?
quick, because I know you about to get off soon.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your thoughts on Loma coming back after a 1 year retirement?
1 year retirement. What a quinky dink that he
Did did
retires
did he
and
pull did
comes
he pull a Mayweather?
100%. You know where I'm going with this. He retired 1 year exactly to the week that his contract ran out with Top Rank. Yo, let me tell you something right now, guys. Turkey has a habit of calling these old fighters with good names out. He tried to get Klitschko to come back out of retirement, didn't he? He tried to get a lot of these fighters to come back. I think Loma waited for the year to pass. The Top Rank contract expires. He's going to come fight for Turkey. Where? Zuffa. Mark my words. Mark my words. What are you coming back to boxing for if you're getting out of your contract with Top Rank, one of the best boxing promoters in all of boxing? Who are you going to come back and sign with? Ed Hearn? You're just going to go to the zone. If you sign with Top Rank, you're going to the zone. If you sign with Frank Warren, you're going to the zone. Any of the top guys except the PBC, you're going to the zone. Right? Okay. So why wait until your contract's expired? Where do you want to go? Zuffa. Where's everybody going? Zuffa. Where would a fighter like Loma at 38 years old make the most money? Zuffa. He has never, this has not come out yet, right? And if you're thinking like I was too, there's one more option on the table for Loma. Just one. Sign with the PBC and fight Tank. That's it. If you don't sign with the PBC to fight Tank, you should have stood with Top Rank. It's just, that's just, where else you gonna go? Either you fight Tank Davis with the PBC or you go to Zuffa because you just got out of your Top Rank deal. And if you weren't trying to get out of your Top Rank deal, why retire for a year, come back the week that it expires? You were obviously trying to get out of that deal. So there's what I believe. This is my opinion here at Round One Sports Talk that I'm saying it. Loma, 38 years old, two-time gold medalist, multiple division world champion. You got two options. Fight Tank Davis at the PBC or go to Zuffa. That's my opinion. Front line. Andy
You?
Lee, what?
No, he
Oh
said
yeah, 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 yeah.
LOI.
Oh yeah, we read those. Yep. Yeah, so that's what I think with Loma. You know, boxing can always use their stars. Loma's a good scalp. He's a good. It's a good name to have on your resume. Two-time gold medalist, multiple division world champion, and Vasily Lomachenko. Yeah, it's a good fucking name all day, every day. And we've always wanted that fight, that smoke with Loma and Tank. We've always wanted that smoke at 135. He goes to Zuffa. You know, there's no 140 division. There's only 135, 147. So I would think he would fight at 135. Who they going to get him to fight at 135? Maybe Raymond Moritalia. You know, as we all know that Garcia has a big relationship with Zuffa and he's been bringing fighters over there. Even right now, I think Coach Hector Bermudez might want to start thinking about options of getting some of his fighters, maybe some of the Zuffa bag. And early on, get 3-fight deal with Zuffa, get the Zuffa bag, then get back into boxing and go after the major world titles. You can also get your fighters a good coin, and some respect by beating some of those Zuffa fighters, then leaving and getting a shot at the belts. Because
If
you're,
they can leave.
yeah, no, they can leave after like a 3-fight deal. But
You don't
look
think
at
they're gonna trap him in for another 3 fight before that third fight happens?
all the time. That's all that Dana White does. That's all.
Exactly.
That's his mo.
Yo, El
He
Body
never lets the
Noel.
fighter go. He never lets the fighter go from the UFC. They never get out of their contract when they sign their first 3-fight deal. In that
Yeah.
second one, he makes them an offer to extend it. That's just his game plan. He's always been like that.
El Body
But
Noel said, "Who you got, Zayas or Boots, bro?" Bobby,
Uh,
we talked about this
we
the
all day.
whole show.
We yeah, just
Team Zayas.
rewind the tape, brother. Rewind the tape. You'll have a
Aquí
great
somos
time.
Team
You have a
Zayas.
great time. You have something to watch. Good content. Trust me, you're gonna like this episode. And we talked about a lot of things, interesting things. Although we are heavily on the side of our guy, I want to send a lot of respect to Jerron Boots Ennis, Philly. You guys, Philly, rich boxing culture, great boxing city. They've been under a lot of, duress with drugs and everything. And a lot of those young men out there in Philly got it tough. I'm not playing you a violin here because they don't need one. That's Philly. Philly streets are mean, grimy, dirty, and tough. If you can make your
Oh
way out of
shit,
Philly,
Edwin, hold on,
yep.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I
What?
forgot to tell you this. I told you what I was on a Philly channel yesterday. You ready for one of the excuses? I totally forgot about this. One of the excuses that the Boots fans are already putting out. You're gonna fucking take that cap off your head. You're gonna toss it across the room. And you're gonna be mad as fuck. They said, ready for the excuse? Xander's gonna come in overweight, get stripped on the scale, but and then move up to 160. My simplest response to that was, "Are you? What y'all think? Zayas is not a professional? You think Zayas, with everything he's got writing for the island, the legacy, you think he's gonna fucking fail on the scale?
All right,
He's
hold
not
on.
Keyshawn Davis.
All right, check this out, right? All right.
They're already coming up with excuses of where I'm getting at.
Okay, check this out for a night. Let me, I'm going to answer your question, but let me finish what I was saying right here, too, about Jerron Boots and Philly and about the fight itself. Like, I'm telling you guys that Philly has produced a lot of world champions, such as Bernard Hopkins. Just, a lot of great fighters have come out of Philadelphia, Garcia. And I think that Jerome Busanis has the opportunity to write his name amongst great Philly fighters when it's all said and done. He just needs the fights and he needs to win the fights more importantly. Jerome Busanis is a great fighter. I take no shots at him, just fair competition. I got my guy, you guys got your guys. Let's watch ourselves a fight. As far as the excuse that you were talking about, it's just hogwash. That's just hogwash. That's somebody, Fantasy Island, making a situation that has not occurred. There's really no sense in me entertaining such a notion when Jerron Butsenis and Xander Zayas has never missed weight, ever. He doesn't give me the impression that he needs to cheat to beat you. Okay? If Xander Zayas was to come in overweight, he automatically gets stripped. And if he was to win the fight, he doesn't win the belts. He also gets the embarrassment of not being a professional. So you think that right there in itself is a strategy? When Keyshawn Davis did it, it wasn't a strategy to come in overweight with Edwin De Los Santos. That was being undisciplined. I was in Las Vegas the day that Keyshawn Davis was scheduled to go to Top Rank Gym where he didn't show up. He showed up a few days later with Terrence Crawford, Bomac's trainer. Bomac came there. Bomac went on the fucking that video when Keyshawn Davis was training to fight Edwin De Los Santos. He even admitted in the video that they were behind schedule, but that he could still get Keyshawn Davis in shape. Keyshawn Davis got bit by the champion's curse. That's exactly what happened. He partied a little too much, smoked a little bit too much weed, and stood out late at night. And when Keyshawn Davis, that young of a man, started getting that much attention, it's hard. All fighters, a lot of fighters, not all, but a lot of fighters fall into that. If you don't know how to manage that, it's going to bite you in your ass. Keyshawn Davis wanted to front. Like his strategy was, fuck it, I'm going to come in overweight and then whoop on Edwin De Los Santos, a big puncher. He'd rather take that angle than say that he was undisciplined and that he fucked up. He came to practice late. He trained even. He came in late, left early. Keyshawn Davis wasn't disciplined. So you think that Ryan Garcia and Floyd Mayweather told Ryan, yo, miss weight 3 pounds heavier to beat Devin Haney? You really buy into that? Or the fact that Ryan Garcia proved he could no longer make that weight 140. He was too big. Ryan Garcia was a weight bully by that time. He had made a growth spurt through that year. He got too big. Ryan Garcia just went up there and played it off like Mayweather told me to do this. No. Ryan, you look 3 times the size of Devin in the ring. You was a huge weight bully. That's all. And these fighters try to use trickery and try to say, yo, I strategized this. This was a game plan. I literally came in 3 pounds overweight, told you Floyd told me to do that, and that was a strategy. Bullshit. Bullshit. Brother, not for $20 million you can make that weight, Ryan Garcia. You know why I know? Because you couldn't make it. You were just too big. And these fighters try to tell these guys bullshit. Nah. Keyshawn Davis, you didn't come in overweight to make a strategy to sacrifice your belt to fight Edwin. Whoa, how'd that work out for you? You came in overweight, sacrificed your belt, and got no fight and no payday? And then got assault charges on that night. That's strategy? You believe that? That he said, I'm going to come in overweight and Edwin's still going to fight me. You never thought of the option of him saying no? No, bro, you fucked up. You were undisciplined. You were not the professional. Keyshawn Davis, Ryan Garcia, Lemos versus Keyshawn, 6 pounds overweight. These guys couldn't make the weight. They took the money before they even questioned whether or not they can make it. But remember what it says for being stripped. That's an F on your report card. When your boxing record is all said and done, and they look back at why you were stripped, missing weight, I repeat, missing weight says we took our belt from you because you no longer made the requirements or were acting like a champion. That means you didn't live up to the standards of a world champion. That's an F on your report card as a boxer, if you didn't know that. That is one of the worstest things you want on your resume. You never want to see on your resume the word strip. Vacate is a different thing because you had the option. Anyone could vacate a belt. You could say, I don't want to be in this division no more. I'm moving up. I vacated the belt. That's not a problem. But being stripped, the rules for being stripped means you did not meet the requirements or was acting or performing as a champion for the sanctioning body. We had to take our belt back because we felt you were not being a champion. That is not good. And when men got that on their record, like Terrence Crawford and everything, in the moment, doesn't sound like much now, does it? But how the fuck is Terrence Crawford going to argue with champions that never been stripped? Bro, you've been stripped not once, but twice. Fuck talk to me about being a champion. 2 times they felt you weren't acting like a champion and they took their belt back from you. Jesus Christ. You gotta have good grades with your run. Can't be having no F's on your report card. Keyshawn Davis, you fucked up. Trust me, it doesn't seem like much in the moment. When it's all said and done, bro, there are going to be times in your career that they say you weren't acting like a champion. That's not good. That's not a good strategy. To sacrifice your belt on fucking weight night. You think Xander's going to get up there and disrespect the flag to come in a couple pounds to try to beat this guy? You really think that that's a good strategy to get an F on your report card for them to embarrass you? A man didn't take your belts. The scale did. The scale took your belt in a division you're supposed to weigh in that and you didn't make weight? That's a smack in the face, bro. You might as well just stomp on the flag. You'd be better off. That's not a strategy. That's their fuck ups trying to disguise it to you like I meant to do that. That's like somebody tripping and rolling up and landing like this, going, yeah, I meant to do that shit. That's all he did. You can't see that? Well, I'm glad you're here at Round One Sports Talk, because I broke it down for you. That shit ain't cool. They're not gonna be able to convince me that they tripped, fell, rope. I mean, bro, you tripped. You fucking tripped. Fuck out of here, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a lame ass excuse. I think, like I said, Xander's a professional. He's gonna come in on weight. He ain't gonna give nobody no excuses on that fight. Jason says the people in Philly should just be happy that Xander's giving their 10-year hype job a shot and finally getting a big fight. Uh High Core says, where you from, bro? Um Keyshawn,
Beantown,
hold on.
Boston.
Keyshawn, hold on. Davis is trash as bull rider. Fake 'em and bake 'em says, oh shit, this some real spill. Can we get a breakdown on Opataya versus Benavidez? Question.
Interesting fight. Opataya Benavidez, I think, would be a great fight. Okay. It would be a great fight. Unfortunately, Jai Opataya doesn't have the IBF anymore, right? And I would have had to like to be, because that's the fight to be made. But now Jai would, I don't know what he's doing with Sufa. I really don't know
He's
what.
got the Sufa belt though.
Yeah, but I'm a fucking Monster Benavidez don't want that trash, that hubcap. He don't want that
Where's it
shit.
at? Where's it at? Where's it
Where's
at,
the
Edwin? Where's
hubcap
it
at?
at? Where's it
Listen,
at?
what? Hold on.
Now we got some
Last
new
time,
people in here.
no, hold on. Last time I showed my Bazoofa belt, I had to warn people, and I was told, yo, you should have warned me before you showed me that belt, because they started laughing, right? So hold on a second. Damn, man, I should have did this earlier, and I forgot. Damn, bro.
Hey, fake
Anyway,
him, bake him. He got the ring belt, if that means anything anymore. All right,
who's that?
so fake him, bake him says Opataya. So here's the thing. The ring belt, it's one of those belts that, how can I explain it? It's just a trophy, basically stating that you beat the man that beat the man. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
the
saying?
ring
And
belt
you
has never been actually considered as like a world championship. It's a world title. Now, the ring belt doesn't give power to any of the other belts, meaning, like, for example, Teofimo Lopez had the WBO and the ring. Did they announce him as a unified world champion? No. So, how does the ring belt give life or credibility or status that they claim to your belts? Do they say it's a 5 belt era? No. They say it's a 4 belt era, and they give Ring Magazine belt recognition for its very prestigious award. It's just a trophy that goes around your waist. It's not a trophy in the sense that it stands upright. It's just a trophy designed that goes around your waist. It used to be a symbol of the people's champion. When the champion wouldn't fight the champion back in the day for whatever color reasons we knew, then over the years, its meaning fluctuated. And with the ownership of Oscar de la Hoya during his time, a lot of Mexican fighters mysteriously ended up with the Ring magazine. It took a dive. A lot of people didn't hold its value. Now, since Turkey owned it, all of a sudden, the Ring magazine belt in the last year, the last 3 years, I would say, but the last year really so, since he had Terrence Crawford say, F these belts. The ring belt is the real belt. Well said from the man that just paid you $50 million and owns that said belt. Like, I could see promotion from a mile away, Terrence Crawford. Thanks very much. But the ring belt doesn't really, what does it really do? It says that you're the man that beat the man that fought the man. Okay, great. But it's not an equal opportunity belt. In order for it to be considered a world championship, you have to give everybody in the division a rightfully chance to win it. You got to be able to defend the ring belt. The only way that you get the ring belt is the best fighting the best. It's not for everybody in the division. So if the belt is not for everybody in the division and it's not equal opportunity, then it can't be considered a world championship. It has to be considered an award. That's the best way I could break it down for you.
All right, now break down the Super Bowl. Where's it at?
Oh, the Super Bowl. Hold on. I'm getting it right now, but I just want to put something up. Yo, man, I made this and I took my time making it and I wanted to fucking put it up and I forgot all about it. But now I'm just going to put up the Super Bowl because I don't think I'll be able to get this shit to come up fast enough.
Hey,
But
fake 'em, bake 'em. As far as Opatai and Benavidez, if we're going based on last performance, I'd say Benavidez wipes Opatai. If we're going based off of last performance of both fighters. That being said, it's a good fight. I can see it go either way. I personally, I would take Benavidez because I'm Latino.
you would take Benavidez. Of course you would take Benavidez, huh? All right. I'm trying to download this now, see if it works.
Precise says, "What belt is an equal opportunity? These dudes don't hold up mandatories or anything."
What belt is a equal opportunity? All the
Yeah,
belts in the division are equal opportunities. You got to work your way up the ranking system. The Ring Magazine belt doesn't have a ranking system. What they use as a ranking system is our organization's ranking system. The Ringside Magazine doesn't have the top 15 fighters that work their way up to fight for their belt. The ring belt only attaches itself to championship belts. That's all it attaches itself to. When's the last time you went to a fight and said, we're going to watch a Ringside Magazine title eliminator fight? Whoever wins this fight fights for the Ringside belt. It's no
it's the
equal
Ring Magazine.
opportunity. Ring Magazine, yeah, I'm sorry. There's no equal opportunity to get to it. How do you get to that belt? The only way you can get to that belt, you need to fight for a world champion or someone that already has it. Like a world champion can take a voluntary. He can take somebody in the top 15, give you a shot at a belt, and you can become a world champion. The top 15 guys have opportunity. What does the ring have opportunity for? You got to get a fight against a champion that attaches himself to the Ring Magazine. It's the only way you're going to get to it. There's no other way. It's not a fair belt. All these belts, we have ranking systems. You can Put yourself in position by winning the fights. Make yourself a mandatory. When do you be a mandatory to the Ring magazine? Have you ever heard of that? Ever in the history of boxing? Just once. He's the mandatory to the Ring. There's no
He says, why
sanctioning
was
body.
Benavidez mandatory for 2 years?
Who?
Benavidez. Why was Benavidez a mandatory for 2 years?
For the WBC, not for the Ring. He was a mandatory for the WBC because he was the WBC former champion. David the Monster Benavidez lost his belt for recreational drug use. Right? He lost his belt, and on the scale, then Saul came and picked up his belt. He had a relationship with the WBC. The WBC was trying to get David the Monster Benavidez to fight, but it looked like from the outside looking in, it looked like they were avoiding David the Monster Benavidez. But the truth is, Saul Canelo Alvarez played his moves perfect. See, when you own all 4 belts, it's a pain in the ass, but you also got 4 mandatories. And when you get in this rare position in boxing, you have a rotation. Who's ever mandatory was next. Because of the fact that he just won that WBC, and the last belt he won was off Caleb Plant, remember? The rotation took a long time to come around.
He said it's all good. Sufa's going to fix these issues. Show him the Sufa belt. Show him the Sufa belt. You gonna make him do it. You gonna make. Uh,
Zuffa world champion. Hang! Zuffa world champion. Real hubcap. I sponsored by Campbell's Soup because we fight real tomato cans. Bumblebee tuna. You know what I'm saying? Look at that bad boy. You see that? Real hubcap. Because that's all that Super belt is. It's a motherfucking hubcap. It ain't got no goddamn legacy. You ain't got no champions. You ain't beat nobody. You're going to have to start from the bottom. And if you want me to take that Super belt serious, brother, if you walked in a room with that belt wrapped around your motherfucking waist, that's all it would be to me. Goddamn hubcap. That's it. Because you guys ain't getting that credibility on day one. No, you're not. Not for me. Nope. You're not established. You got no legacy and you got no champions. You got Jayo Pataya. That's all you got. And he went 12 rounds. No knockout yet. So, Sufa, before you think on day one, week one, you're going to get up and put your belt and say that our belts, the prestigious world champions, I don't give a fuck what boxing is. It's the Wild Wild West. We need help. Boxing's fucked up. I get it. But Sufa, you're not going to come in the game. Tell me you're my savior without proving it first. Just because you threw around a little bit of money. I'm a bit more reserved. I'm a bit more street smart. I've seen a sad story here and there. I don't believe every sad story I hear. You're going to have to prove it. And before you walk into boxing and take your little fucking Sufa belt and say that it's better than our belts and that our champions ain't shit, that the Ring Magazine belt and your Sufa belt all of a sudden is the best belt in all of boxing with a couple words and some bullshit. You know what you're not going to do, Sufa? You're not going to disrespect my legends. All right? Because that man's belt right there, Muhammad Ali's, his belts mean something. Floyd Mayweather's belts mean something. Sugar Ray Leonard, Joe Louis, Mike Tyson, and the list goes on. Roberto Duran, Hector Camacho, all of them. Those are legends. They have history. And for you to come in on day one without proving yourself and throw around that tin hubcap thinking that you're going to shit on my belts, my champions, our legacy, what boxing built? Let me remind you of something, Sufa. I'm not shitting on you. No, I'm just asking you to prove yourself. You have a lot of people happy. You have a lot of people convinced. Not me, not just yet. And I told you, I'm not fighting change. I'm
Hey,
welcoming it. What I'm
real quick.
asking for is for Zuffa to come out and their fighters in a year. Tell me if you're still happy. Tell me if they have the interest in you. What is Zuffa doing that's any different than anybody that's here? If Zuffa, all you turn out to be is another boxing promoter, we already have those sharks. What are you actually doing for the fighters? Are you changing the rules? Are you making it a better boxing world? Are you getting these fighters paid? And most importantly, do you care about the fighters? After boxing, life after boxing, Zuffa, what are you doing for the fighters? Or are you just using boxing to line your pocket, claiming to be better? We already have that. We already got snakes. That's why boxing's where it's at today. So at Zuffa, all you're doing is throwing around some money, making some bright lights, paying some fighters that were already established in boxing, where you're just another boxing promoter, just another snake. That's it. Show me real change. Show me you're our savior. What are you doing for boxing rather than lining your pocket? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a great time here tonight here at Round One
Nah,
Sports
nah,
Talk.
you can't go yet, Edwin.
I
You
gotta
can't go
go.
yet.
I gotta go.
I got you. I got
I
you.
gotta go. Listen, you have no idea what's there. But listen, listen, it's looking real nice around here. But anyway, um, look, guys, I love talking boxing and I love giving my breakdowns. I don't claim to always be right or know everything about boxing, but I know one thing. I have you guys. You guys are my eyes and ears, boxing channel. You guys come here and you guys all share your boxing knowledge, and that's how we all grow. I respect everybody that came up here, all your opinions. Thank you for coming up here and voicing what you feel about this fight with Jerron Ennis and Xander Zayas. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot to talk about leading into the fight. As far as the month of May, we got a couple big fights, and we'll be on here, Round One Sports Talk, and we'll be having fun, fighting and talking about the Notre Dame's world title. And I hope if you like to talk boxing, you like to have a good time, and you're tired of all these other channels that all they do is swear and disrespect each other all day just to say what's on their mind. Here at Round One Sports Talk, I hope you can know that I'm making a safe platform where you can come intelligently and like men talk and say what you feel without being attacked. I think all of us have opinions and we everybody's opinion should be heard. So fight fans, thank you for tuning in here at Round One Sports Talk. Like I said, please don't forget to hit that like button. Listen, do me that favor. It gives the video um, more viewing audiences and become a Round One Sports Talk member. So, like always, fight fans, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Frontline, it's always my pleasure
Peace.
for you coming up, and I will see you on the next one, gentlemen. Peace.